What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. We're going to read through the schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we'll be getting things started. First, I want to give a huge shout out to John. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much, Cassie J. I really appreciate the PayPal. Thank you so much. All right, we'll be starting off with a video titled China Accuses the U.S. of Launching Malicious Cyber Attacks. I don't know if it's true or not. I feel like the CCP likes to lie about us because then they can justify retaliations and stuff like that. I've been getting heavily attacked by cyber criminals for the last 24 hours. It's been crazy. I don't know. I wish people just didn't function like that. Then we got a video titled Harvard Defies Trump Admin Faces $2 billion hairs in Funding Freeze. We heard Caroline Levitt talk about this earlier today when we covered the press briefing. Then we got a video titled Consumer Watchdog Exposes DEI Rebranding. All these companies claiming that they were rolling back DEI. Nope, they're playing the game of semantics. They're going to just change the labels but keep practicing the same nonsense that they were doing. If you find people that care more about the words you use and not what you're trying to say, you can guarantee they're a Democrat. It's just the way they are. Then we got a video titled Zuckerberg Testifies in U.S. Antitrust Case Against Meta Acquisitions, making claims against WhatsApp and Instagram, saying they didn't purchase them to have those features. They purchased them to eliminate their competitors. Then we got a video titled Autism Rates Rise to 1 in 31 School-Aged Children, says the CDC. Now in this video, they use the word diagnosed a lot, and it's kind of ironic because we were just talking about this the other day, where we're not denying that this is a thing that's happening. We're saying that it could be overdiagnosed, and here we are with a video. I believe it's News Nation telling everybody, everybody's got autism and all this stuff, and they use the word diagnosed over and over and over. I don't necessarily think it's increasing. I think that it's an overdiagnosis, but that's just my opinion. Then we got a video titled another Palestinian student who took part in protests has been detained. This is another pro-Hamas activist being arrested. I also think he was working directly with Mahmoud Khalil, which is the poster child for activists being arrested as far as the pro-Hamas protesters go. So we got another one being arrested. Then we got a video titled Federal Agents Arrest Venezuelan Man in the Courthouse. Just get him out of here. Just get him out of here. There's a lot of illegal news, a lot of news about illegals today, which is fine because the news generally wants to talk about President Trump. So at least we got something. This one is interesting. It's titled Giving California the Finger. Sheriff vows to defy state's sanctuary law, which is badass. It's out in California. This guy says he don't care what new scum says. If they figure out that they have an illegal in custody, he will contact ICE. We need more sheriffs like that. Then we got a video titled The Left Can't Handle Any Positive Trump News. This is about Bill Maher. We were talking about this yesterday, how apparently Bill Maher has said bad things about President Trump in the past. People believe that they didn't really like each other, but I guess they had dinner lately and kind of changed Bill Maher's opinion about President Trump. And the lefties, they don't like that. And in that same tone, we got another video. It's titled Lefties Crying About Shaq Shaking Hands with President Trump. We were talking about that yesterday. We showed a clip. I can't remember if it actually showed Shaq or not, but we saw President Trump going to the UFC. We knew that he had shook hands with Shaquille O'Neal, and we had discussed whether or not Shaquille O'Neal has immunity from hate from the left. Well, apparently not. So we got a video of some lefty crying about Shaq. I don't know. He just wants to touch his wiener. Then we got a video titled Carmelo Anthony's $1 million bond has been reduced to $250,000 after he allegedly, I don't know why they say allegedly, he stabbed a 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, I think it's Metcalf, in the heart for grabbing him. He's now out on bond, which is kind of crazy. Then we got a video titled 11 violent illegal border crossers, including 7 Tren de Aragua members, have been deported to El Salvador. Getting these deportations rolling once again. Make the news cry hard about it. Then the last little bit of the news is titled, Senator wants to go to El Salvador to retrieve unjustly deported man. This is the stupid Maryland Father of the Year or whatever that has been deported because he's a MS-13 gang member, but the news will not let it go. They want to talk about it every single day. Yesterday we covered a video of pretty much the whole Trump administration taking turns answering these questions, saying no, he is illegal, he's MS-13, he's not coming back. This senator wants to go cry really hard over this guy. Then we're going to be doing an unboxing because I got a few gifts from a bunch of hooligans. One of these boxes, I have no idea who sent me this stuff, so we're going to have to figure it out. But I know we got one from Zero, one from Hair Juicer. Thank you, hooligans, so much. So we will be opening one of the advent calendars because I believe I was sent 2 of them today. So we got advent calendar goodness going on for the next couple weeks, which is awesome. Then we got 2 funny videos of the day. First one's titled Dems Love This. And then our official funny video of the day is titled, It's Usually a Boring Job. Now, let me look it up really quick because somebody sent me that second video. And I want to give them a shout out for sending it my way. Let me see if I can find it. Handicapable, thank you so much for sending me the funny video of the day. All right, we're going to read through the chat really quick like we usually do. But if you would like to do the Pledge of Allegiance right now, instead of doing it at the end of the live, drop a 1 in the chat. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Josh1776? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Russell? What's up, Jay Spray? What's up, 10 Man? What's up, Snooks? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being here on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? Snooks, you were first today. I appreciate everything you do for us, Snooks. What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom. What's up, Free Thinking Texan? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Brian? What's up, Tony Rez? What's up, Rappy? What's up, MU? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Elder Zoomer? Appreciate you sliding through. Let me see. What's up, MC? Happy freedom to you. Make sure we get everyone. I think we did. What's up, Nana? Happy freedom. All right. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. And what is up, everyone? What's up, Stoner? Caught you right before I flipped. Can we do the national anthem? I'll get a copyright flag over on YouTube if we play the national anthem. If we sang Happy Birthday, they'd give me a copyright. They banned yesterday's live. They blocked it globally because I showed clips of President Trump at the UFC. So the UFC hit me for copyright, and they blocked yesterday's live globally. I had to cut all those parts out of the live. So I don't know. I'll consider doing the national anthem instead of the Pledge of Allegiance, but we'll see how it goes. Let me see. What is up, everyone over on Kick? Happy freedom to you. I don't know where the chat starts because we've been live so many times today. Either way, happy freedom to you, hooligans. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? Again, I can't tell who's here and who's not because the chat is full. What is up, everyone over on the GoofTube? Manna, you were first over here. Appreciate you racing to the chat. What's up, Sassy Patriot? What's up, Steve S? What's up, Scott Johnson? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Mike Ingalls? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Rickle Pick? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Cinderella? What's up, Skulls? What's up, Aaron? What's up, Lone Wolf? Happy freedom. What's up, Toy Mafia? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Rhonda? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. And what is up, everyone over on X? Let's get this pulled up really quick like. All right, happy freedom, you hooligans over on X. We're going to check through and see if you guys want to do the Pledge of Allegiance now or if you want to wait till the end. Also, don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. See if you can get us on the front page. Russell, I am back and you have been warned. Well, welcome back, Russell, and happy freedom to you. MU, do it on both ends. If I had a nickel for every time someone said that. Not seeing the ones. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Not what I was expecting. Either way, let's go ahead and get into things. We'll do the pledge at the end, I suppose. Like I said, we'll be starting off with a video titled China Accuses U.S. of Launching Malicious Cyber Attacks. I think it's malarkey, but either way. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick that we have these Golden Age t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in all of the chats for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, stickers, dog tags, and we've made cooking aprons out of this design. Today, I got on the plain Jane JeffMAC t-shirt. We have lots of items and lots of lots of designs over in the merch store. I'll be dropping all the links in the chats while we're watching this first video.
During the 9th Asian Winter Games, the US government launched a cyber attack on the event's information system and critical information infrastructure in Heilongjiang province, causing serious damage to China's critical information infrastructure, national defense, finance, society, production, and citizens' personal information security. The nature of this is extremely bad. China condemns the aforementioned malicious cyber behavior of the US government.
Sorry, I was trying to drop these links. Either way, like I said, I don't believe this. I mean, maybe it could be happening, but I don't know. Why would we launch a cyber attack against CCP? Maybe we did, maybe we didn't, but I think China is kind of sneaky. China. I think they're kind of sneaky. I think they're the kind of people who would punch themselves in the eye and go, look at my black eye. The U.S. did this to me. They're like a toxic girlfriend. That's what I think. That's just my opinion. Who knows? Maybe we did do the shit. God only knows. We'll see if we have a follow-up video on this or if China decides to retaliate over these cyber attacks that we supposedly did. But considering that is just a short piece of news, we'll go ahead and get into this next one. It's titled, Harvard Defies Trump Admin, Faces $2 Billion Doll Hairs and Funding Freeze. Now, like I said earlier, we heard Caroline Levitt bring this up during the press briefing that we covered earlier. So I figure we might as well get into it. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
So let's talk about Ivy League colleges. And we know that the anti-Semitism raging on some of the most elite institutions in our country has to be addressed. And as soon as Barnard got raided a couple of months ago by anti-Semitic activists from Colombia, they knew the president, this was his first opportunity to address it. So he took $400 million from them. And he said, do these 5 things or 8 things if you want to get it back. And they're still in discussions. When it came to Harvard and the threats against Harvard to straighten out their curriculum, to straighten out the anti-Semitism on their campuses, to start complying with some regulations that the administration put out, Harvard pushed back. And they said, we will not. And the president answered back last night by saying, if you will not, we're taking $2.5 billion from your grant system.
So there's this task force that is trying to get that money. Harvard, essentially, they've come back and they've said, you know what the administration is asking us to do is unconstitutional. It also flies in the face of our First Amendment rights. The president of Harvard, a fellow by the name of Alan Garber, sent a letter to the community to explain it. He said, although some of the demands outlined by the government are aimed at combating anti-Semitism, the majority represent direct governmental regulation of the intellectual conditions at Harvard. We have informed the administration through our legal counsel that we will not accept their proposed agreement. The university will not negotiate over its independence or its constitutional rights. So they've been hit with this $2.2 billion federal freeze. But here's the thing. I would imagine this is a battle that Harvard's going to fight, because while that's $2 billion, they've got an endowment at Harvard of $53 billion. So they've got a pile of dough they could rely on if they're going to fight this.
So the president.
All right. So Harvard doesn't want to comply with the Trump agenda, crying really hard and saying, no, we're not gonna do what you say. You're attacking our free speech and this, that, and the other. I don't know why they get federal funding in the first place. Why would they? They're Ivy League schools. Like, they get all kinds of donations and people paying crazy tuition and all of that. Why would they get government funding on top of that? I don't really understand that. Next up, Consumer Watchdog exposes DEI rebranding. Like I said a moment ago, it's just a big old game of semantics. And this stuff is true. It is true. If you were talking to people and they worry about how you word things instead of worrying about what you're saying, like, understanding what you're trying to say instead of the way you're trying to say it, those are Democrats. Those are people who like to be lied to by Democrat leaders. I've talked to so many people like that, where they hang on every little word you say because they want to hear you misspeak versus just picking up what you're laying down, you know? It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat. We're going to see what you hooligans think about Harvard potentially having $2 billion in funding being frozen because they don't want to comply with the Trump agenda, as well as China accusing the U.S. of launching malicious cyber attacks. Hair juicer feels like a good day to buy some brown liquor and become a fucking problem. I'm saying hair juicer. I've been thinking that all day today. Russell, these Ivy League schools need to be put in their place. I agree. And I don't get it. Why do they get federal funding? Just like the news, the public, like PBS or whatever it is, we were talking about a couple weeks ago. Why is there news networks that gets federal funding when they all lie? They're all biased. These schools are creating pro-terrorist protesters and activists and stuff. Why would they get federal funding? I don't want my tax dollars going to that nonsense. Jay Spray, Harvard doesn't need taxpayer money. Exactly. So next, do you think China is lying? I think they are too. Russell, China attacks us every day at work. Yeah, see, so what are they even talking about? It's just like the tariffs. People get mad about the tariffs, and it's like, oh, when they tariff us, it's fine. When we tariff them back, oh no, we're a bunch of bastards. Russell, do they make an inflatable farm animal advent calendar? I don't know, Russell. They got all kinds of advent calendars on Amazon. If you guys send me the links, I'll add them to the wish list. Pumpkin, Harvard needs to lose some tuition. I agree. Stoner, I don't know why they get tax money anyway. I don't either. That doesn't make any sense to me. What's up, Shroomish? Happy freedom to you. MC, sounds like China's feeling the reciprocal tariffs. I think you're right. Pumpkin, China's not doing very good right now. I wonder what'll happen. Desperate people do desperate things. If their economy's not doing well and stuff, I wonder what the outcome will be. What's up, CB Michigan? Happy freedom to you. CB, Harvard and other public institutions need to behave. I agree. Shroomish, 1.2 billion is a freaking lot too. Yeah, well, it's 2.2 billion that's potentially going to get frozen for Harvard, but they said they have like 50 something billion just sitting there waiting just in case they need it. So again, why do they need federal funding? They got $50 billion just laying around waiting for a purpose to walk by so they can spend some money on it. Why are they getting federal funding? That doesn't make sense. What's up, Mad Scientist? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Meta? Happy freedom to you. Sorry for their luck. Not. Yeah, exactly, Meta. What's up, Pag? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Shauna Vision? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Thank you for joining us. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy freedom to you. 1,500 pounds of soil left to move? Holy, Energy Woman. You take her easy. Don't work too hard. What's up, Donna? Happy freedom. What's up, Grenados? Happy freedom to you. What's up, James Gang? Happy freedom. Cheeky Chops, can cotton. What is that? We don't need to can it. It stays fresh. Know what you're saying there, Cheeky Chops? All right, hooligans. We'll go ahead and get into this next one. Let me see. Consumer Watchdog exposes DEI rebranding. It's pretty self-explanatory. Before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop on either platform, you'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Like I said, we're getting this next one, how they're using semantics to trick everyone into thinking they're no longer doing DEI. These dirty little liars. Hit that like button if you got one, and let's get into this.
A consumer watchdog calling out companies like Kohl's, Dollar Tree, UPS, and Nationwide, to name a few, claiming their diversity, equity, and inclusion agendas are just getting rebranded as inclusion and belonging, or culture of respect. Joining us now, Consumers Research Executive Director Will Held. Will, great to see you. How many companies have done this, and didn't they know with certainty that they would get busted for not actually changing what they were doing?
That's a great question. To tell you the truth, we're unsure exactly how many have moved to this. We predicted it would happen about a year ago, that as the pushback on DEI, on the anti-white and anti-Asian and sometimes anti-Jewish racism as that pushback was successful, that they would simply rebrand. And belonging was even one of the words that we suggested they might use. And here it is. This week's Woke Alert names 5 companies that you just listed that have simply rebranded their DEI departments to departments of belonging. In some cases, renaming even the title of their DEI director, in the case of Kohl's, Director of Belonging. So they haven't changed personnel. They haven't changed the photos. They haven't even changed the images, stock images that they use on their websites. They've simply changed the wording. And what that really means is that they're still engaging in the same anti-white and anti-Asian discrimination.
I mean, I guess if I'm going to pick on one, it's going to be Nationwide for me. It's like Nationwide is on your side, really? Doesn't sound like they are. It sounds like they want to do things with, I think, the whitest spokesperson there is, right? Peyton Manning. So I don't know where they're going, what they're trying to do, but they don't certainly try to portray what they're trying to do behind the scenes.
Well, it's extremely insulting to the intelligence of the average consumer, who we've seen from Bud Light to Target to a panoply of other companies, has hurt those companies as they've engaged in crazy wokeism, as they've let crazy far-left activists take over their companies. It's insulting to their intelligence that simply a name change is going to be enough. They need to change personnel. These people who engaged in this kind of discrimination don't belong at the company, and they need to repudiate fully those behaviors, the anti-white and anti-Asian discrimination, the hostile workplace environment, the lot of their DEI efforts created for people of different races. They need to repudiate that fully. Then we can believe them. Simply changing from DEI to belonging is a pirate. It's not even a victory. It's them assuming that conservatives and independents who are sick of this are going to be cheap dates, and that just isn't the case.
Shouldn't all of these companies be a little concerned about being investigated by, say, the Department of Justice and the head of civil rights? I think it's Harmeet Dillon, who I admire a great deal, for promoting some races over others rather than merit, regardless of race.
That is an excellent point, and they absolutely should. In fact, in January, the president issued an executive order to every government department that because how widespread this DEI nonsense, this anti-white and anti-Asian racism was, he wanted them to find 9 companies each to go after for this kind of violation of civil rights. And Harmeet is an incredible attorney, and I have all faith that she's going to go after these corporations for this kind of violation of labor law.
Thank you, Will.
Well, badass. Not only did they find out that these companies are playing semantics with this DEI crap, but they're actually going to go after them for civil rights violations and, I can't remember how they worded it. Something about unfair treatment towards workers. I can't remember how they worded it, but either way, if they actually do something about it, that'd be great, because we always hear about bad stuff every day, but it doesn't seem like the bad guys ever get held accountable. So we'll see if we can get a follow-up on this. I highly doubt these are the only companies out here rebranding their DEI to make it seem like they're complying with federal law when they're really not. They'd rather be racist and award people based on skin color instead of their job performance and qualifications and stuff like that. Just doing things ass backwards, even when it's federal law now. Next up, Zuckerberg testifies in U.S. antitrust case against Meta Acquisitions that have a problem with the reasons that Meta purchased WhatsApp, and they also purchased Instagram years and years ago. But the government believes that they might have done this to get rid of competition, making them a monopoly. And so now they're in court. Now, who knows if anything's going to actually happen to them? They might, maybe not. Either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about DEI rebranding with these big companies. Thank you, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. Chase Spray, just rebrand. You can cut off your junk, but you could still be male, right? You might be a tarded male, but nonetheless. Yeah, Chase Spray, they love their semantics. Russell, the whole DEI thing is bullshit. Yeah, It's completely unfair treatment. It's totally racism. That's the whole thing. It's just racism. They love it. The left loves their racism. Stoners, stop cheap faking the DEI. Exactly. What's up, Tree Herder? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Cody? Happy freedom to you. Cody, I thought there was only one race, the human race. Rainbows are racist. Yep, those racist rainbows. Stoner, they have an adult toy advent calendar. I don't know if we'd be able to open that on the live. That might be too much. MC, they just said that Harvard has $52 billion in endowments. Yeah, and I looked it up because I wasn't exactly sure what an endowment is. An endowment is a gift to a nonprofit institution, typically consisting of money or property that is invested to generate income for designated purposes. And so Harvard has $52 billion in gifts, in donated money. And then the federal government is threatening to freeze $2.2 billion that would go to Harvard. Again, I don't know why. I don't know why they get tax dollars. That just doesn't make any sense. What's up, J-Dog? Happy freedom to you. Meta, they need a tariff. That's right. Put tariffs on those businesses. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tori Wayne? What's up, Vinny C? What's up, Teasel? What's up, TPP? What's up, Danger Zone? Happy freedom to you. X is just dead. Snook, some men have good endowments. Holy. It's a gift? I didn't realize. I suppose. What's up, Time Travel? Happy freedom to you. Russell, some women have nice assets. Are we all drinking today? Is that what's going on? All right, let's get into this next one. This one is Zuckerberg testifies in the U.S. or in U.S. antitrust case against Meta Acquisitions. We see Meta getting in trouble all the damn time, but it doesn't seem to slow them down at all. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the GoofTube, and let's get into this.
Meta Platforms CEO Mark Zuckerberg took the stand in a Washington, D.C. courtroom on Monday in a trial over government allegations the social media giant built an illegal monopoly. The high-stakes antitrust case involves Meta's acquisitions of Instagram and WhatsApp for billions of dollars. The Federal Trade Commission is seeking to force Meta to restructure or sell Instagram and WhatsApp. That poses an existential threat to Meta, which by some estimates earns about half its U.S. advertising revenue from Instagram. While on the stand, Zuckerberg sought to defend against allegations his company bought Instagram and WhatsApp to eliminate competition. The FTC has pointed to emails in which Zuckerberg proposed acquiring Instagram as a way to neutralize a potential Facebook competitor, and expressed worry that encrypted messaging service WhatsApp could grow into a social network. How users spend time on social media and which services they consider interchangeable will be core to the case. Meta will argue that an increase in traffic to Instagram and Facebook during TikTok's brief shutdown in the US in January shows direct competition. The FTC has argued that platforms where users broadcast content to strangers based on shared interests, such as TikTok, are not interchangeable. The trial, which is expected to stretch into July, is part of a crackdown on big tech, started during Trump's first administration. Amazon, Apple, and Alphabet's Google also face antitrust lawsuits by U.S. antitrust enforcers. Several major tech companies have moved to align more with Trump, such as rolling back diversity initiatives and having executives engage directly with the White House. But that has not resulted in a pullback on the antitrust cases.
Okay, so everybody's being hit with antitrust cases, but will they actually do anything about it? We kept hearing about Google being accused of running a monopoly for months, and then it just went away. Nobody talks about it anymore. I can't really remember what it was even about. It had something to do with their browser and a couple other things that they had, and they were making claims that it was a monopoly and that they were going to have to either sell off Chrome or something else, but it all just went away. As far as I know, they didn't make them do anything. Now Meta's next up, being in trouble for Instagram and WhatsApp. But why is it only now? Why now is this a problem? They've owned WhatsApp for like 8 years or something like that. It's been a long time. They've owned Instagram for like 20 years or 15 years or however long it's been out. So why now is it a problem? It doesn't really make sense, but we'll see if they make them sell it off. And will it be like TikTok? TikTok is still being auctioned off pretty much. There's all these different wealthy individuals that are putting bids down on TikTok, so over 50% could be sold to an American so we can keep TikTok. I highly doubt that TikTok's going to be banned. I was saying that before they even got to this point, but now with the way things are, I highly doubt that TikTok will be banned. So we'll see if they actually do something with Meta. They've been calling out Meta the entire time I've been a live streamer and accusing them of stuff and even showing proof that they're infringing on the right to privacy of Americans and all kinds of stuff. But nobody ever does anything to these people. They put it in the news, and then they eventually stop talking about it. So we'll see if they actually hold Zuckerberg accountable or not. Next up, autism rates rise to 1 in 31 school-aged children, the CDC says. Now, they use the word diagnosed over and over and over throughout this. So, like, instead of saying, we factually know that people are have autism at a higher rate. Instead, they say we just know that it's being diagnosed at a higher rate. Again, it's the semantics. It's the way they use these labels and stuff. And we were just talking a couple days ago about this, about how it may or may not be on the rise, but the overdiagnosis definitely is. Doctors will tell you, they will find something wrong with you if they can sell you pills. And so you walk in, you are walking out with a brand new label. That's just the way doctors are. They get kickbacks off this medicine. If they can find a reason to feed you medicine, they will. And so these young people, they love that. They love their special labels because they get to walk into a room and go, hey, here's my special labels. I demand special treatment and I want it now. And a lot of these protesters, even back when we were in the George Floyd days, half of them were walking around there were like, well, I'm autistic on top of 34 flavors of gay, and that's why I get to march around and do whatever I want. And if you do anything to me, well, then you're messing with disabled people. And that's what they do. They use it to be over entitled and stuff like that, which is wrong because there's people out there that got real problems and they can't do anything about it. They were born that way. So it's goofy with these misdiagnoses or overdiagnosing people just so you can feed them pills and make some money off of it, when there's people out there that really have a lower quality of life because of the conditions they were born with. And you got these goofballs who just want some extra entitlement, so they go get some labels from the doctor and walk around and demand that we give them special treatment. It's a bunch of nonsense. I believe this is a News Nation clip, which makes sense. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Zuckerberg testifying on these antitrust case that they got against Meta. What's up, Guessam? Happy freedom to you. Guessam, I never met a social media platform I trusted. I'm in the same boat, Guessam. That's a good one. Russell, I do not like Zuckerberg. He is a lizard man. I think he is too. He is a very strange individual. Holy Russell, I can't even read that out loud. YouTube's here today. I can't say that out loud, but I guess we'll just have to take our labels and like them. What's up, Dutton? Happy freedom to you. Dutton, I got all my labels before it was cool. I know. See, and when I was younger, I was being told that you didn't want these labels. You didn't want to walk around and tell people, you got mental problems or you got whatever. You want to try and cope with that shit as much as you can because you don't want to walk around telling everybody you got shit wrong with you. It wasn't something to be all boasting about. Nowadays, everybody loves their labels, which is really weird. What's up, Kilgore? Happy freedom to you. Kilgore, 34 Flavors of Gay would be a great Queen cover band name. Somebody'll take it. They can have the rights to it. J-Dog, I can easily remember seeing Zuckerberg in front of Congress at least 6 times. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Nothing ever happens. He donated like $200 million or something to the Democrat Party in 2020. Nobody even talks about that. How much money is he donating now? Because we know that Zuckerberg went to Mar-a-Lago to talk with President Trump before Inauguration Day, just like Trudeau and all those other guys did. And how many times was he at the island? Yeah, that's the weird thing about it, is we hear about all these people supposedly being on the island, then they're all going to meet the president, then they're donating money to America, then President Trump's bragging about these guys, and we're like, wait a minute, were they on the island or not? And they're not giving us the Epstein files, so it's like, yo, is this why we're not getting the files? Is because we're watching them get propped up on the news as somebody who's great because they're giving money to Americans, or not Americans, but to America, and in reality, they're bastards from Epstein Island. They don't want to talk about that because they'd rather get the money from them, because that's starting to be what this looks like. I do not like that at all. I want to see some arrests from these Epstein files. Told to care, stop sticking labels on people. Absolutely. They just want to put people in boxes. That's what it is. They hate normalcy. They hate it so much. They got to put everyone in a category. And it's the people who hate racism. They hate racism, but they use it all the damn time. And they also want to stereotype everyone. It's like, just give it up. Just give it up. J-Dog, I'm special. We're all special, J-Dog. That's why we're here. We are special. Pumpkin, we have privacy? Really? Well, we're supposed to. What's up, Energy Woman? Thank you for joining us over here on Rumble. Pumpkin, Botox is used for migraines sometimes? I've never heard that before. Stoner, a new butt plug every day from the advent calendar. Klaus isn't going to like that at all. Anyways. Pumpkin, if I have to be in a box, I want a red one. I will keep that in mind, Pumpkin, just in case the Democrats come by and want to hand out some labels to us. Russell, I'm special ed. I was in special ed the entire time I was in elementary school. And by the time I was in 12th grade, I was gaming the system. They walked in and I was taking a nap on the floor in the back. I've showed you guys before when I was sleeping in school and stuff. And they're like, what is going on here? And they're like, oh, every day Jeff gets done with his schoolwork in about 15 minutes, so then he gets a whole hour to sleep. And they're like, what? And so they went to give me an IEP, because I've had an ongoing IEP since I was in 3rd grade all the way till the 3rd time I did 12th grade. And they're like, you're kind of overachieving in the special ed class. You should probably be in regular ed. And I was like, nah. And they're like, what do you mean no? Everybody wants to get out of special ed. And I'm like, nah. I like my naps. I like to be able to nap in class. And so they gave me an IEP, and I just guessed on the whole thing. I didn't read it. And they were like, okay, I guess you scored low enough. I was like, all right. And they were like, we know you're gaming the system. And I just was like smiling at them. I was like, have a good day. This is too late. You're going to make me sit in the system for just about 10 years. I'm just going to game it at this point. And that's how it was. I was a super duper senior. Stupid. Don't make bad choices. I was a shithead when I was younger. Josh 1776. In reality, most of the money that they donate was tax money that they were given. Yeah. And that's the other thing, is a lot of money that's donated to these companies, to schools, to the government, that's a tax write-off. If you make donations and stuff like that, it's a tax write-off. So if you run a business, and I'm not giving financial advice, I'm giving an example. If you made $20,000 in profit and you're self-employed and you donate $20,000 to a charity of sorts or a good cause, well, you can write that off. You can put yourself in a position where you don't even have to pay into taxes that year, because you technically didn't make profit because you donated it or you bought a new truck or whatever, and now you don't have to pay into taxes at the beginning of the next year. And these big companies do that. That's why they make these donations. It's not because they're good people. It's because it's a tax write-off. And it's almost like money laundering. They're just kind of passing money back and forth. and doing deals with each other, and a lot of it's to evade taxes. That's why you see these dumbasses get up on Capitol Hill and they're like, well, we need to make the ultra wealthy pay what they owe. What do you mean? They understand taxes. Employees are the ones who don't understand taxes because they don't have to deal with them. They walk up, they sign the paper, they sign the W-2. At the beginning of the next year, you get a W-2 in the mail, you get a H&R Block or wherever you go, and they just deal with your W-2, and you're like, I don't know how it works, but I got $600 this year, and that's it. Those are the people being duped with taxes. Anybody that's self-employed, especially these big businesses, they know how to game the tax system. They know how it works, and they could take advantage of it because they had to learn how to do the shit so they could file their own taxes. That's why they don't pay into taxes. Like when they're going after President Trump, they're like, oh, show your tax records. And they're like, he didn't pay into taxes. It wasn't tax evasion. He knows how to play the game. That's how it goes. And like I said, with these donations and stuff, that's exactly what it is. They're not doing it because they're good people. They're doing it because it's a tax write-off, and that's less money that they have to pay into taxes at the beginning of the next year. Sam, I love figuring out ways to not pay taxes. Just saying. Yeah, everybody does. It's the only good part about paying taxes is figuring out the tax write-offs. Happy freedom to you, Sam. Got some? This year, 2025, is the first time in 19 years that Get Some got a refund from the IRS. It's badass, Get Some, and I wonder what that's from, because when I was doing taxes, they were saying that there was a lot of adjustments this year and that it had to do with inflation, and it benefited a lot of Americans. Not that inflation did, but these adjustments did. So your taxes were handled a little differently. You weren't taxed as heavy, or maybe you were given a bigger refund because of these adjustments that have to do with inflation. Again, I'm not giving tax advice through any of this shit. I just went and paid taxes, so this is what my tax guy was telling me, and that's all I know. I don't know exactly how it works, but that's what he was telling me. J Spray, buy shit you like. Absolutely. Josh 1776, you might have to refresh. We're not having problems on my end. Guess not all donations can be written off, i.e. the sperm bank. I suppose you're right. Hair juicer, I could have graduated early, but I needed half a credit of PE more. They still made me take an entire day of classes for my last semester. Yeah, I'll miss being in high school. Man, could you imagine being in high school now? They got phones and social media and stuff. I remember thinking school sucked, but that was way before you could do something stupid in class. And by the time you get out of class, the entire school knows because somebody posted it on Facebook or whatever. I'm glad we didn't have that when we were in school. We had MySpace, but we didn't have cell phones that could connect to MySpace. You had to go home to the desktop in order to log into your account. Nowadays, you can be an idiot by the end of first hour. J Spray, what's the point of a system if you can't play it? That's what they say. Guess you're cracking me up today. J Spray, 1099 in the auto industry and tools, about everything is write off. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's well, see, and think about that when you see these live streamers that play video games and they're like buying all the DLC and the new skins and the new guns and stuff. That is tax write-offs for those guys because their job is to play the game. There's lots of stuff like that. Sam, pisses me off to pay taxes and insurance is a scam. Yeah, I feel the same way. Tree herder, taxes taste bad. They do. They smell funny. Dabs, happy freedom to you. I heard the quickest way to go from debt to wealthy is become a politician. I mean, it makes sense. Pumpkin taxes are illegal. Yeah, they overtax the shit out of us. Cody, tax is theft. Yep. Told I got tired of being in the overachiever club. Slackers got more privileges. Yeah, and there's a couple instances where that works. Just like being an employee, like in a factory or some place where there's a lot of different jobs. They ask you to do a new job. They're like, usually you work over here, but now you're going to work over there, and you learn how to work over there and you do really good. Well, now they're going to make you work over yonder, and then they're going to have you work over in this place and all this stuff. Next thing you know, you're doing 15 different jobs and you're still making minimum wage, while everybody else that just knows this one machine, and they just do the one machine and they don't even do it half-ass, and they get paid just as much as you. So what's the point of being an overachiever? So you got to work longer, you got to work harder, you got to do more. You have people with higher expectations, but you make just as much as the guy that does fuck all and out and back? Nah, that ain't worth it. But see, that right there is why everything sucks right now. When you buy something and it's broken before you take it home, or you go and order food and they screw your whole order up, that is why right there, is because overachieving does not benefit you in a lot of these situations. And so then you're like, well, you get burned out. You're like, why should I do a good job if I get paid the same as a guy that does a piss poor job, and management doesn't care if you do good or bad? They're just there doing a half-ass job themselves. So then everybody slacks. The quality goes down in every industry, and all of us suffer because we're all buying from each other. And that's where we are. And then you add DEI into the mix, and then you wonder why your car falls apart going down the road. You wonder why the roads are falling apart. You wonder why buildings are falling over. You wonder why planes are falling out of the sky. Don't wonder. It's around all of us. If you're going to do something, do it right. And we need to get back to doing that kind of stuff. Shroomish, tax is theft, and credit is usury. Let's see. Credit is both illegal. They screw us over big time. Yeah, they do. Meta, we need to push for stronger regulations on all of them. Yeah, we need to have a higher quality of everything. I'm doing good, Pag. How are you doing? What's up, TBD? Happy freedom to you. What's up, guess who? Happy freedom to you. F the IRS and their BS Freedom Day. Yeah, actually today's tax day, isn't it? There was a bunch of videos that I passed over where they were saying, oh, it's going to be really hard for the IRS this year. They got to file everybody's taxes because it's tax day. And they're heavily understaffed and they're about to lose another 2,000 employees. Oh, darn. Darn. That sucks. Sucks for them. What's up, Carson? Happy freedom to you. What's up, AKA? Happy freedom. AKA, my mother is in retirement age, but still works in a salon, and so many mothers are spending their child tax credit every month at the salons. Yeah, child support's like that too. You'll see people be like, oh, I got my child support check, and then buy new shoes. Go and blow it on dumb shit. Like, I need a new camera for my only hooligans. Like, I don't know. It's life is like that. What's up, Lone Wolf? Happy freedom. What's up, Tactical? Happy freedom to you. Tactical, money talks and bullshit walks. If you have the money to spend on a platform of that size, like Instagram or TikTok, Facebook, etc., there will always be in control. Yeah. Yup. What's up, Juggalo? What's up, Aaron? Happy freedom. Aaron, I had my son evaluated for autism and they lied in the report about him, so I stopped all the processes right then and there because of their lies in their official report. Yeah. Yep, and they're all biased. A lot of those people are biased. Things suck. Things suck. We got to get to a place where everybody's striving to do better instead of just striving to just do the bare minimum. Teasel, virgin olive oil. I like my olive oil slutty. I just recently learned about olive oil. I still don't understand it completely, but I know it comes virgin or extra virgin, so I don't know. I just choose the slutty kind. Cinderella, what blow up animal did Jeff get for Christmas? I know he got Diego, but I can't remember if it was a goat or a sheep. It was a sheep. I can't remember what his name is. He's not sitting right here anymore because I moved everything for taxes. What's up, Rhyme Time? Happy freedom to you. Rhonda, Sleepy Joe's blubbering right now. Well, let me take a gander, because I wasn't sure when he was supposed to be on stage, and I wasn't sure if we were going to cover it. But we can take a gander really quick. Why not? Let's pull up a really soft-ass channel where they'll cry really hard for him, naked, and while holding children. Let's hear what this idiot's saying really quick. We don't have to watch the whole thing. Don't start leaving all of a sudden, okay? We're just going to hear what this dumbass has to say. I'm surprised he's still alive. Either way, let's check this out.
For their entire life, they pay into Social Security. And in return, they count on Social Security to be for them when they're going to need it. Folks, must never ever betray that trust. Come on, turn our backs on that obligation. That's why during my presidency, we protected Social Security and made it stronger. Martin, the governor can tell you. We came into office, Social Security Administration had its lowest staffing, she referenced it, lowest staffing levels in 50 years. And demand was going through the roof because of my generation and the baby boom generation reaching the retirement age. So the demands on Social Security increased significantly. Our administration secured nearly $2 billion to reduce the backlogs and improve customer service. We slashed wait times for folks in need who are calling the 1-800 number. We got it down to under 13 minutes. It used to be 3 times that long when we took office. We made it easier for people to get help with their claims online. We reduced how long it takes to review a case. We fixed the appeal system to make it uniform in all 50 states, which made a difference.
Did his ears get bigger?
To protect people's identities and to make sure benefits are going to people who actually they belong to.
Those are the biggest ears I've ever seen on a person.
I want to meet them because I like to figure out how they live out. Hell of a thing, man. I'm looking for longevity. Prostitutes. It's hell when you turn 40 years old. But as a result, by the time we left office, we had improved every single line of customer service, from applying for disability to filing an appeal to reporting fraud.
Okay, well, that's enough of that. We don't need to hear the lying and the bullshit and the nonsense and yada yada. We don't need that. We don't need that. Oh, we improved everything. No, the fuck you didn't. You piece of shit, you're going to get us riled up and you ain't even in the Oval Office anymore. That's enough of that. We're not doing that. We're going to read through a little bit. And next up, like I said, autism rates rise to 1 in 31 school-age children, says the CDC. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through, see what you hooligans think about old man Walter. I think he thinks he's making a comeback. He's not. He sounds just as dumb as the day he left. Sam, this shit right here is why Trump won. Exactly. Guess I hate to say it, but the more I review Biden, the more convinced I am that he was never running the country. He's an Obama puppet. He is. I think Jill Handler was doing more running than he was. Russell Biden couldn't fix shit. Nah, he couldn't. Josh 1776, I wonder how tall he is today. It's hard to say. He had his ears down his face, like connected to his jaw. When he chews food, his ears flap. I don't know what the hell was going on. Did he get a facelift? He had a ear down the whole side of his head. I don't know what I got big ears. This guy's got giant ears. They were huge. It's crazy. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary to have that much ear attached to your face. Tin Man mumbles. Yeah, he was mumbling and bumbling. Breeze by you, Jill Handler, so nasty. She is. Where's she been at? I'm surprised she's not trying to appear in movies and stuff. Going on the Michelle Obama podcast or whatever. My feed, chin balls also. Yeah, he was droopy chin. He needed a cup. He needed a cup. Holy, you should tuck that thing in. What's up, my feed? Happy freedom to you. Shroomish, and Obama was a CIA puppet. The CIA has been running the show for years. Yeah, I totally believe that. My feed, 400,000 illegals got illegal benefits. Yeah, that's all he did. Stoner, one of the stores I service had a dumpster fire on my day off today. It's not good, Stoner. Wasn't in Portland, was it? Because they have dumpster fires every day. That whole place is a dumpster fire. Kilgore, he looks just like Fire Marshal Bill. He does. Brian, I hate his smile. I do too. And pieces of children in his teeth and stuff. It's not good. It's not good. Cody's going to start yelling. I think he was working up to it. What's up, Winston? Happy Freedom. That's the Joe bot. Come on, man. Told to care he looks better. I thought he was kind of slender looking. I don't know. He was looking like the Slender Man. And then I noticed his ears were this big. I don't know. I don't know if it helps him swim or what that's for. Winston, you may not have read Atlas Shrugged, but yet you articulated much of the author's ideas. Interesting. I have no idea what that is, but I will definitely look it up. I will do the thing after the live. Thank you for letting me know, Winston. Cody, yeah, you like your olive oil extra slutty? I don't know. The people at Walmart did not like that. I'll tell you that, because there was people loading boxes, some dumbass sitting there all day with headphones on, and I was like, hey, what's the difference between these two bottles of olive oil? And he was like, well, one's extra virgin, the other one's just regular. I was like, what is regular? He's like, well, it's not extra virgin. No, I got that. I can fucking read, bud. What is the difference besides the labels? And he's like, I don't know. I don't use olive oil. I was like, I'm getting the slutty one then. And he was like, just put his headphone back in and just looked the other way. I was like, that was funny, man. Can't even laugh. It's not a dick. It's a joke. Don't take it so hard. Just saying. Shroomish, your dyslexia kicked in. It just stays on. It just stays on. And it never stops. Stoner Muhammad the sheep. No. I think he has a name. I'm pretty sure the sheep has a name. I can't remember what it is, though. Sin, happy freedom. We didn't watch the whole speech. He was starting to lie. People were starting to get mad. Kids were crying. His diaper was full, and we just wrapped it up. He was only on the screen for a couple minutes. And it sounded like he had never left office. So, as far as I know, we're not missing much. Energy Woman, is virgin better? Is virgin olive oil better? I need some advice. MU, he was part of the Harvard study on why old men's ears grow bigger. I mean, I know, you get old and you can't help things. You get fur coming out your ears and stuff. I understand all that. But they ain't usually stretching the whole side of your head. He couldn't even wear a helmet these days because he's got these big old balloon ears on each side. I don't know. It's not good. It's not good. His flippers are showing. Snooks, thank you for letting me know. I'll see what I can figure out about it after the live. Holy 10 man. That's exactly what he looked like. Old man Walter was up on stage doing this. He's like, I fixed everything. He's like, yeah. On backwards day. I don't know what that is, Russell. I don't want to say that out loud. Josh 1776. You guys are going to get me in trouble. What's up, Janet? Happy freedom. Janet, EVOO is actually a lot better. It's the way that it's pressed. I'll have to look into that. I've never even heard of that. I'm glad to hear that, Stoner. I can't read that out loud, but I'm going with that kind. What's up, Viola? Happy freedom to you. Meta, the Supreme Court judge in Maryland defending Garcia was appointed by Obama. Go figure. Oh, yeah. Stuff's making sense, connecting the dots here. What's up, Sherry? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Bright Eyes? Happy freedom to you. Cinderella's for balance. Yeah, until he walks outside and blows him off his feet. What's up, Devin? Happy freedom. Devin, it was Obama in a FJB mask. It might have been. Tactical, the Big Mike podcast. Ugh. Sounds gross, because it is. Devin, the chin nuts. I know, he just needs to tuck that in and put some unders on his face. What's up, Squish? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tony Rich? Appreciate you being here. Guess nasal hair and ear hair can be taken care of. Butthole hair? Hard to find a barber. I mean, I could see that. I guess that's what they say. You got to have kids to take care of you when you get old. It's terrible. That is terrible. Anyways, let's go ahead and get back into more news, I suppose. Like I said a million times, this next one is autism rates rise to 1 in 31 school-aged children, says the CDC. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, the website, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, and President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get this pulled up really quick. Oh, it's NBC. I thought it was News Nation. No, it's actually way worse than that. That makes a lot of sense now. Either way, once again, this is titled Autism Rates Rise to 1 in 31 of School-Aged Children, says the CDC. Hit that like button if you got one, and let's get into this.
A brand new report out today from the Centers for Disease Control finds a dramatic rise in autism diagnoses among children. In examining medical records from 2022, researchers found 1 in 31 children were diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder by the time of their 8th birthday. That is up from 1 in 54 children back in 2016. NBC News medical reporter Erica Edwards joins us now. Erica, just start by walking us through the findings of this report.
Yeah, Kate, as you said, this is a big increase, especially when you look at the last 25 years of data. All of these, again, based on medical records of diagnoses. This latest report shows that 1 in 31 kids is now being diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder by the time that they turn 8 years old. In 2016, as you mentioned, the prevalence was 1 in 54. In 2000, it was 1 in 150. Now, autism appears to be a focus of the Trump administration. President Donald Trump and HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. have both said that it's critical to find the cause of autism. In a statement today, Kennedy said, quote, the HHS is assembling teams of world-class scientists to focus research on the origins of the epidemic, as he calls it. And he said he expects to begin to have answers by September. Kate Zinkley.
That's a pretty quick timeline. What are doctors that you're talking to, researchers, saying about the rates being, rising like this? Are doctors getting better? I know I've talked to people who say they're better at detecting autism. It's being reported more, but is there something else environmental involved as well?
Yeah, so that's actually the key there, Kate. Authors of the study even say that doctors are simply getting better than ever at identifying autism earlier and at younger ages. So at the same time, there are a lot of questions that remain, right? Especially about what causes autism. Right now, experts are focused on genetics, saying that there are perhaps hundreds, if not thousands, of neurogenetic factors that could be playing into the causes of autism.
And let me ask you one more thing about Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Health and Human Services Secretary. He has said, as you said, that he wants to find the cause. He has also made comments and promoted the debunked theory that vaccines have something to do with autism. Does this report even mention that?
No, this report only looks at diagnoses. It does not dive into the potential causes of autism. That said, experts are adamant that even though there are a lot of unanswered questions about autism, one thing is for sure, they say vaccines do not cause autism. Kate?
Erica Edwards for us. Erica, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated.
Okay. So like I said, they heavily use the word diagnosis or diagnosed. And they kind of mention, oh, we want to figure out what the cause is. Oh, you want to figure out what the cause is, but you don't want to remove fluoride from the water. They know there's a direct correlation between drinking fluoride water and lowering your IQ. So, like, what else causes problems like this? Because they don't really want to get to the bottom of it. They love treating this kind of stuff. You have to pay money every time you go in and see a doctor and stuff. They're not going to stop that from happening. It's a bunch of bullshit. That's what it is. I think a lot of this is overdiagnosis, and I think there is probably an increase in people that actually have these issues going on. But I don't think they're going to get to the bottom of it. They were just saying the vaccines don't cause it. Oh, okay. So you're just writing that off. You're not even going to go look into that. That's just, you're just saying nope. Oh, okay. You really ain't that worried about it. If you're not willing to test out all possibilities that is causing autism in Americans, well, then why are you talking about it? Just to scare people. Just to be fearful. I'm surprised they didn't blame anti-vaxxers or something like that. They were on the verge of it, but they were heavily using that word diagnosed. And I think it's because most of what we're seeing, most of these numbers and all of that is because of overdiagnosis. People being like, oh, does your ass itch? Sometimes. You're autistic. And you're like, oh, damn, I knew there was something. And then you go to your boss, you're like, I'm autistic. I can only work 20 hours a week, but I still need full pay, and I demand it now. Like, and that's the world we live in. People cutting corners and taking the easy way out. Either way, next up, we got another Palestinian student who took part in the protest has been detained. This is another pro-Hamas activist being arrested, and I believe this individual was directly connected to Mahmoud Khalil, which he's the poster child of activists being arrested for sympathizing with terrorists. We're just waiting for him to be deported, Mahmoud Khalil, that is. We know that he has a court case in New Jersey coming up because he lied while applying for his visa. He's got to go through whatever that process is going to look like. And when that's done, they're kicking him up out of the country. And the protesters are already mad. They're already pissed. They're demanding that he is being released, which isn't going to happen. And so once they deport him back to wherever the hell he's from, they're going to be real mad. And I think that's going to kick off our spicy summer. We'll probably have, protests. I don't think it'll be George Floyd level riots, but you never know. God only knows. The other thing, and we don't really have a video of this. I had seen this clip a couple times while watching other videos, but I didn't want things to be redundant. But there's protesters out there screaming that, well, if they'll deport visa students, next thing you know, they'll be deporting Americans. Where the fuck are you going to deport Americans to? We're already in America. Like, that's how stupid these people are. They're so stupid. We're going to deport Americans back to America. Where the fuck do you think we're at right now? These people are dumb as shit. But either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about them saying there's a rise in autism here in America, and 1 in every 31 school-aged children have it now. What's up, Astro Hammer? Happy freedom. Breeze by you, they don't want to fix the problem of autism. Nah, they don't. They want to direct the narrative. Breeze by you, cook with butter or beef tallow, it's the best. Butter is better than cooking with olive oil. I usually cook with coconut oil if I have to use anything. A lot of times I don't use anything, because I don't usually use butter or anything like that. But I don't know. I thought the reason people used olive oil was because it was better than butter. I don't know anything about beef tallow. I don't even know what that is. I hear FK Jr. talking about it. Josh 1776, how does detecting it early equal more cases? They don't know, but it sounded good. Snooks, you think olive oil is better than butter? Breeze by you think the opposite? Interesting. Well, I'll have to Google some shit here in a little bit. Energy Woman, butter, tallow, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil are superior fats. The rest are not. Thank you for letting me know, Energy Woman. Brian, y'all recall the Fabio commercial? I can't believe it's not butter. See, and I don't even know what that is. Is it margarine? Isn't margarine different than butter? See, we come for the news, but we stay for the butter talk. Energy Woman, tallow is the lard of the cow. That doesn't sound pleasing. Dabs, these people are dumb as shit. That's the most accurate statement I've ever heard. I'm just saying. Shroomish, Trump was caught on a hot mic talking about Bukele taking our homegrown terrorist sympathizers yesterday. Oh, I don't know how I missed that. I was looking for all kinds of news today. I'll have to look into that, Shroomish, see if I can get the hot mic for tomorrow's live. Stoner, for real? My back door only itches if I didn't wipe enough or I wiped it too much. Stoner, the fact that you have to think if you wiped it enough or not enough means that you're autistic. That's what it means, Stoner. That's what they'll tell you when you go to the doctor, because these people love to overdiagnose everyone and figure out if they can give you pills or maybe make you pay for insurance or whatever they can think of. Anything that equals money in their pocket. It's dumb. It's dumb. It shouldn't be that way. You know, and that kind of stuff should be against the doctor's Hippocratic oath or whatever, because they take an oath to not hurt people or to try to do their best to save individuals that they come across. You know, that's supposed to be what doctors are for. And I think if they misdiagnose somebody or they overdiagnose things for the sake of selling pills, that they should be held accountable for that as it being against their Hippocratic oath if someone could prove that. Like going and getting a second opinion and having people be like, no, you don't have any of that. Who told you had that? And you're like, this doctor. And then all of a sudden lawsuits start. It should be that way. Janet, them doubling down on the vaccines and not causing it makes me think it does. Yeah. There's a lot of people who believe it does. And it's because the vaccines have mercury and other things in them. And I don't know. It's not going to change, though. Regardless of what they say on the news, it's not going to change. Shroomish, but why do they put mercury in vaccines? Yeah, see, exactly. Kilgore is surprised they didn't blame global warming. Yeah, they haven't really talked about climate change in a while. And they never talk about pollution because climate change has nothing to do with pollution, apparently. Dunn, did she just say debunked? Just because doctors say no doesn't mean it's debunked. Right. Winston, now look into the increased rates of child vaccination. More vax equals more autism. Yeah, I'm thinking so too. Energy Woman, are doctors getting nervous because they'll be held accountable for their crimes against humanity? It'd be something if somebody got held accountable for anything. I mean, I can't wait for the day that we're covering that. What's up, Kirsten? Happy freedom to you. Energy Woman, first, do no harm, no longer part of the oath they take, I heard. Well, I still think they should be held accountable. Josh 1776, apparently going to space for a selfie is worth the global warming, i.e. Katy Perry. Yeah. I can't believe they got all those celebrities like orbiting the Earth and stuff like that. The comments are hilarious. And it doesn't matter what platform, even on liberal platforms like TikTok and stuff, you'll see these videos of these stupid celebrities floating around in their little pod. And the comments are like, I'm just trying to be able to eat every day of the week. Like, and these assholes are flying around the planet. Like, yeah, keep worshiping those people. Meta, Elon Musk has Asperger's disease on the autism spectrum. Yeah, I think he admitted it on the SNL skit when he first went up there. Meta, most everyone is somewhere on the autism spectrum, so it actually is been underdiagnosed. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, is I don't think anybody's running at 100. I don't think any of us are completely good to go. I think all of us probably got something that's a little off. And if we go to the doctor enough times and we spend enough money on the dumb shit, they'll find something wrong with us. We'll fit the bill of something, right? Everybody finds a car they like. Nobody walks around and goes, oh, I can't find a car I don't like, so I just walk. Nobody's like that. And it's the same thing with these kind of diagnoses. You will fit the bill for something. But why live like that? Well, you think you got to have these medicines, or you got to go to this counseling, you got to go to this facility for whatever. You would have been fine if you never went and found those labels. You wouldn't have to spend that money. You wouldn't have to feel insufficient. You wouldn't have to tell people your special bullshit, demand special treatment and stuff. And it doesn't make you a better person, like have a higher quality of life by having these goofy labels. If you have something directly interfering with your quality of life, like people who undeniably have autism or ADHD and they can't focus, or whatever it is you may have, when you cannot function like a normal person, you're the only person in class growling and barking and nobody else is, that's when you know something else is going on. If you're just going through life and everything's fine and you go to the doctor and they're like, oh, you got 3 new special labels. You're like, oh, okay. Well, how does that make your life better? It doesn't. It literally doesn't. It makes it worse. It hurts the quality of your life to go and find labels. And that's why, like, I don't know what the hell I got or don't got. All I know is if I struggle with something, I want to figure out how to get past it. I want to figure out how to go through my day with being as normal as I can be without negatively affecting anybody else, without taking any pills or medicine or treatments or bullshit, and just live the life I'm trying to live without all the extra bells and whistles and nonsense, because I don't want people feeling bad for me. I don't want people thinking every time I achieve something is because of all this special treatment I demand, or these pills that I'm on, or the blah, 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 blah. I want somebody to see me as a normal person, and when I achieve things, it's something respectable. When I fail, it's my fault. I don't want people blaming disabilities or stupid shit because I don't believe I have them. If I can function like a regular person, I don't need to know where on the autism spectrum I land. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, if I was some dumb 17-year-old or whatever, and I was, oh man, the life's hard and everybody hates me and my feelings hurt, blah, blah, and I went and got stupid labels like that, I'd be walking around today with 14 labels and be like, yeah, guys, I laugh sometimes because I got this, or, you know, I'm only being treated this way because I got this condition, and so on and so forth. And it doesn't help you. It does not help you be independent and be self-sufficient to have these labels. I just don't believe it. Guess who McDonald's used to deep fry their fries in beef fat? I wonder if they were better. They were probably better that way. I've heard terrible things about McDonald's fries, about how they're made. Just McDonald's food in general is made awful. What's up, DP? Happy freedom to you. I don't know what half these words are you guys are writing over here on YouTube. Lone Wolf. They say that mothers that took Tylenol while pregnant, that could cause it? I've never heard that before. Lone Wolf, they don't normally give second opinions for that, for lawsuits? Yeah, well, I figure. Tactical, they're injecting people with the problem? Yeah, I think so too in certain situations. Rhonda, McDonald's fries have 19 ingredients in them? It's a little bit too much for deep fried potato. Teasel, Yuck Donald's, as your mom coined. Yuck Donald's. I kind of like that. Josh 1776, I think the best fries right now are Rallies. I've never heard of Rallies. I keep hearing that Wendy's fries are the best. I've only been to Wendy's like twice. Russell, Arby's has good fries? See, I've only been to Arby's like once. Their shit's so expensive. Astor Hammer Steak and Shake does their fries in tallow. See, I want to try some of that. Breeze by You fries made in beef tallow are the best. We might have to figure this out. Pumpkin, we don't need what most of doctors are pushing at us. Yeah, I agree. Shroom is cracking me up. Stoner accidentally bought coconut shrimp, and they were awful. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't eat shrimp, coconut or otherwise. Energy Woman, the second biggest deception is how to get healthy people to go to the doctor. Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, obviously, there's people out there that have needs that need to be met, right? There's medicine that some people really need. And we're not talking about that. We're talking about healthy people going and finding problems for the sake of having problems. That's what we're talking about. Got some best fries are hand cut and homemade. I believe you. What's up, Cat Daniels? You want to say hi? Come here. Where are you at on the spectrum, big guy? Let him know. Shake a cat. Being a good boy. It snowed today here in Michigan, so my big fat piglet cat here, he's been hanging out by the heater. I didn't eat him. We didn't have Klaus tacos or anything like that. He's just big and fat. He's been eating fancy feasts because Mrs. Donna Sparks makes sure that Klaus Daniels has a lifetime supply of fancy feasts, and he doesn't go without. He's getting princess treatment. Your pretty little princess. Big fat Klaus. Big booty on a kitty. That's right. That's right. Sit up here on your tower. Get up on Klaus' tower. All right. Anyways. Guess some fuck. Has Klaus been eating fries? I know. He looks like he eats Big Macs every day. He's a big guy. That's a big guy right there. Anyways, let's go ahead and move forward before I piss anybody else off. This is titled, Another Palestinian Student Who Took Part in Protests Has Been Detained. Now, I don't know what this guy's name is yet, because Mahmoud Khalil is still first place for Cry Hard Over activists. But this is one of his little buddies, and it's good. Let's get rid of all these terrorist sympathizers, right? Anyways, hit that like button if you got one, and let's get into this.
Yet another Palestinian student who took part in protests at Columbia University has been detained by federal agents, this time in Vermont. Natalie Dudridge has the latest from Columbia in Morningside Heights.
I think it's illegal. I think it's wrong. I think it's terrifying.
Students and professors at Columbia University are on edge after Mohsen Madawi, a Palestinian student, was taken into custody Monday while attending a citizenship interview in Vermont.
We are alarmed, I think, to say the least, that this is occurring. So we are not in support of it. This is federal government encroachment.
Cell phone video shows Madawi in handcuffs, detained by Homeland Security agents outside an immigration office where he was scheduled for a naturalization interview. His friend recorded the moment.
Someone who hasn't done anything wrong and only expressed their positions and their what I consider to be their freedom of speech and their freedom of assembly to be brutalized in this way.
Madawi's lawyers filed a petition for his release, stating he's been a lawful permanent resident for 10 years. He was born in a refugee camp in the West Bank and shared his childhood trauma with 60 Minutes back in a 2023 interview.
And suddenly I see an Israeli soldier pointing the rifle at us, and he shot my friend in his chest.
You were how old?
I was 10 years old.
Court documents show Madawi co-founded Columbia's Palestinian Student Union with Mahmoud Khalil, who the Trump administration is also trying to deport, accusing him of ties to Hamas and, quote, anti-Semitic and disruptive protests. Monday night, advocates gathered outside ICE headquarters in Manhattan at a rally led by Jewish Voice for Peace.
It's morally abhorrent that this administration is hunting down and kidnapping students.
Back on Columbia's campus, only a few students were willing to speak out, many afraid they could be the next target.
It doesn't just stop with a green card who's trying to get naturalized. It could be any of us. It could be someone who was born here and lives here.
And no word yet from the Trump administration on this latest case. In Morningside Heights, Natalie Dudridge, CBS News, New York.
A federal judge has blocked Madawi from being removed from Vermont.
Like I said, he's like, we're next. They're going to deport us next. Where the hell are you going to be deported? You were born in Ohio. Where are they going to deport you to? Huh? You think you're going to England? You think they're going to send you out to Hades? I don't think they understand what deportation means. You're being sent back home, and if your home won't take you, well, we'll stick you somewhere else. You're already home, buddy. They're not going to deport you. Our equivalence of being deported is going to jail. That's it. If you ain't going home, you're going to jail. You're going to prison or something like that. You can't be deported, you stupid person. Like, it's just so stupid. And like I said, I seen other parts of that rally where there was other people saying the same exact thing. If they'll deport these visa holders, what makes you think they won't deport us next? Where the hell are they going to deport you to? Where are you going? On vacation? You want to go to Palestine so damn bad, you'd be lucky to be deported there, right? Like, come on, man. These people are so stupid. So stupid. Out there crying and stuff. Now, I heard that there could be a protest in Ludington this weekend. And I might just go down there with stick a camera in these guys' face and see how bad they want to be protesters. We're weathered to the shit. We've been seeing protesters for half a decade. At the end of next month, it'll be half a decade we've been doing this. So if they're really going to go out there and do the protest thing, it's not too far from me. I think we're going to go stick cameras in their faces because I just don't believe they have what it takes. It's not Portland and shit. This is soft-ass Ludington. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Either way, we got more of this kind of stuff coming up next. This next one's titled "Federal Agents Arrest Venezuelan Man in a Courthouse." I can't remember what exact. I think he got caught drunk driving or something like that. They found out he was illegal. ATF showed up to arrest him. He tried to flee. Didn't work out. It didn't work out. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this new Palestinian pro-Hamas protester. He's an activist, actually, a new pro-Hamas activist now being arrested and potentially deported. Russell, be careful. Oh, I will. I'll be careful. I'll wear my vest and all that stuff. I'll bring somebody with me. It'll be fine. So you can't deport a U.S. citizen. Yeah, they need to go back to college because they don't know what they're talking about. Sub-Zero, happy freedom to you. Breeze by you. It's just so much stupidity. It is. Guess, heaven forbid they hunt you down and lock you up for visiting the Capitol on J6. F these fuckers. Yeah, they're a bunch of idiots. Crying about nothing. Breeze by you. It's crazy how Democrats and the mainstream media love terrorists. Yeah, and they don't see anything wrong with it. And then these people are being deported, and they're like, oh no, why would anybody do that? Because terrorism is bad. I think it's because these people aren't old enough. Damn, I think I figured it out. They're not old enough to remember the 9/11 day. They're not old enough to. They probably weren't even here when that happened. That might be it. That might be it. They're not old enough to remember the 9/11 day. I can't say it because fucking YouTube's stupid, but yeah. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why they don't understand that terrorism's bad. Because we all remember the Twin Towers being hit, and we were like, okay, terrorism is bad. Anything connected to it is bad. You do not want any part of that. These young, dumb people, they're like, they just need hugs. Like that one woman said, they just need hugs. Terrorists just need hugs. Sam, these stupid people are procreating with dumbasses. Yeah. I think that's why tard has re on the beginning of it, because you're tarded twice. That's how these guys are. Kilgore, we'll see how it goes. Stoner, young Master Klaus. No. He's a good boy. Nobody's fault. Stones? We got guns. Yeah, welcome to America. Happy freedom, nobody's fault. Pumpkin, well, I would deport them, but we can't. I'm saying, they want to go to Palestine so bad, let them go. Let them go. They want to go to Gaza and all that, let them go. They'll do fine for like an hour or two, and then somebody will throw them off of a building or whatever, but hey, that's what they want. Give these people what they want. They're angry. Pumpkin. They say they don't support Hamas, but they cover themselves with a scarf. Yeah, and then use the same phrases that Hamas uses. Kilgore, boot his ass out. Yep. Absolutely. Kirsten, yeah, absolutely. Kilgore, I've thought that for a while. Yeah, I think that's what it is. They're not old enough to remember what it was like that day when the towers got hit. So they don't really feel the gravity of terrorism, even though we, have an understanding of what actually happened that day. But when it first happened, we didn't know any of the Bush stuff and all the other, details. We just knew that somebody did something fucking crazy and time stopped for a moment there while the towers got hit. They didn't have to live through that. So they don't understand what it's like. Stoner, back to Gaza you go, you loser. That's right. These losers. Guess, what do you remember about 911 day, liberals? The police came when I dialed it. Yeah, exactly. That's all they know. Sam, yeah. Iran has paid good money for the last 20 years of PSYOPs. You're not wrong. Sherry, trade school is better. At least you learn a skill. Yeah, all they learn how to be is terrorist sympathizing activists. Sherry, college is not teaching much, just a waste of money. It is. It is. Tactical, they have no past to compare the present with to know the difference between what is and what should be. It's true. And they're not being raised right. Their parents think that there's some Ivy League graduate, some star student. Meanwhile, they're out there sympathizing with terrorists and stuff. I guess that's what happens when you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Tactical, today is the tomorrow we worried about yesterday. Absolutely. What's up, Wayward? Happy Freedom. I heard this was the place to watch Walter's big speech. We just played a little bit of it. It didn't sound like a big speech. It sounded like the same old, even though we haven't heard that idiot in a few months. Yeah, Sam, I think so too. Drive Safe Zero. Astral Hammer. The first shape-shifting president? No, I don't want to see that. Wait, speaking of shapeshifters, where's that one Congress person? I'm trying to think what their name is right now. I can't even remember what their name is. Tim something. I can't remember. It goes, Tim McBride. Tim McBride. I hope that individual does not run for president. I'm surprised that they were elected to Congress. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Colorado that elected Tim McBride. He's going by Sarah. Sorry, Sarah. Your name is Tim. Uppercut. Stupid. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this next one. Like I said, federal agents arrest Venezuelan man in a courthouse. Now, he tried to flee, but he couldn't run fast enough. He should have got lessons from KJP. She used to run all the damn time. Hit the like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
Recently released security camera footage shows two federal agents tackle and arrest a Venezuelan man in a New Hampshire courthouse, knocking over a bystander in the process. Records show that Arnuel Marquez Colmenares is now being held at a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement facility in Texas. The Nashua Police Department says Marquez Colmenares was in court for his arraignment on misdemeanor charges related to drunk driving when he was apprehended. A courthouse officer who helped restrain the man said the agents told him they were working on orders to detain undocumented immigrants and that they tried to arrest the man quietly in the elevator, but he fled. One of the agents can be seen presenting a Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives badge when entering the courthouse and wearing an ATF sweatshirt. The ATF declined to comment on the case, and ICE has not responded to CNN's request for comment. CNN has been unable to determine if Marquez Colmenares has a lawyer.
All right, so this individual is getting deported too. I wonder if the big guy that got knocked down is going to sue the federal government, because it was the ATF agent that technically knocked him down while they were in pursuit of a criminal. $40 million here is awarded to the big guy with the cane. We'll see how that goes. Next up, giving California the finger. Sheriff vows to defy state's sanctuary law. The sheriff says he don't care. If they pick up an illegal and they got them in custody, he is calling ICE. Apparently he's already received an email or a letter of sorts from New Scum, but he doesn't care. He wants to do what's right regardless of what the law says. Pretty respectable. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this Venezuelan trying to flee these federal agents. Sam, old dude probably broke his hip. I was wondering if he broke his ankle, because when he like rolls over, his ankle's kind of slant. And I've seen a couple of people break their ankle before, so I don't know. But like I said, it was the federal agent that actually made contact with the guy, so I wonder if they're going to sue the federal government. Here, Juicer, there was a shapeshifter running in Wisconsin for Congress. I made a YouTube video mocking Jessica Katzenmeyer. I'll have to check it out here, Juicer. Damn, shapeshifters running for elected official positions. We don't need that. Breeze by you. Deport them all. Absolutely. Russell, yeah, he FA'd and he FO'd. He did. Dutton, they should have credited the fat man. He was a huge help. The guy couldn't run around him fast enough. The ATF agents got him. TBD, that's the point. People don't remember anything because society has become sissified. Yeah. You're right. The lockdowns did a lot of that. They were like, oh, you got a cold today? They're like, yeah. They're like, well, you better just take 2 weeks off. And after we went through the lockdowns, people were like, it's outrageous they want us to work 40 hours a week. I'm like, yeah, I remember my first part-time job. You're soft. You got soft hands. I remember when I was younger, it was like you could have a broken jaw. They still wanted you to come into work. They did not give a shit. You'd be missing half your body. You'd be missing the whole left side. They'd be like, you're all right. And you'd have to come in, and that's all there would be to it. Now, well, what's your feelings like? I'm going to need a personal day. I'm going to need a mental day. Oh, that's great. That's great. When I was young, they just slap you upside the head and be like, get your ass out there. Better go do what you're supposed to do. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps. I don't know if it was the right way to go, but now everybody's a bunch of sissies, and it's not good. It doesn't make us whole. It doesn't make anything good. Josh 1776, my school made the men's and women's bathroom into unisex so shapeshifters can keep using whatever one they want. That is messed up, Josh 1776. I'm surprised people don't vandalize that stuff. Draw like carve men into the one and women's into the other. I don't know. Kirsten, we detasseled corn at 12 years old. Yeah. Now our 12-year-olds, they got back problems. They need a day off. Going to school 5 days a week is too hard. They're like, what is this, slavery? Nah, you be all right. You be all right. Time travel, I admit it, I'm lazy, but I'm not blaming everybody else for it. Well, I think being lazy is different than like being in fear that you can't do it. You're like, I'm supposed to work 40 hours? I see one of those TikTok videos at least once a week where somebody's crying, I can't believe they want us to work 40 hours a week. This is bullshit. And like, what else do you got going on? What do you got going on? Like, yeah, if your job sucks, 40 hours is rough. But if you find a job you like, 40 hours ain't that bad. Plus, you earn everything you got. So when somebody tries to steal your shit or break into your house or steal your car, you get to be mad about it. You get to call the police. You might have to put that fucker in the dirt, but you have the right to do it because you earn the shit. When you get it for free and somebody steals your stuff, you don't get to be mad about it. It was a gift. Yeah, it sucks it got taken away, but you didn't earn it in the first place. And that's what's wrong with these people who cut corners and cheat the system to get welfare when they don't actually need it and things like that. You know, people scamming the system, not people who need it, but people who are scamming the system. And they go and blow all this money and then somebody robs them and they're like, oh man, this is bullshit. What are you talking about? You've been doing that to taxpayers your whole life. What are you talking about? You haven't earned anything. Stupid people. And it's satisfying. It does good for your self-esteem to go out there and earn stuff. But these young people don't know anything. I don't know if these are the iPad kids growing up after not being parented for the last 20 years or what. What's up, Kevin? Happy freedom to you. Totally care mowing lawns at 10 years old. Yeah. I was bussing tables at 13 over at the American Legion. Doing stuff like that. The other thing is the like psyop of the internet. A lot of kids are like, well, I'm going to grow up to be Mr. Beast. Well, good luck to you. They're like, I don't need a work ethic. I'm just going to make videos. Yeah? You know that's a pain in the ass? You know you still have to have a work ethic to do that? You have to have a work ethic to do anything that you really want to do in life. Whether it seems easy or not. It's not. You have to devote your life to it. And these young people, they're going to find out one way or another. Like we say all the time, starving is one hell of a motivation to put the fire under your ass and get you doing things. Time travel, don't get me wrong, I am working, but I would rather be just rich by winning the lottery, for example. Absolutely time travel. Way where 40 hours is a short work week. That's what I'm saying. I remember my first part-time job. Sam, my parents believed in child labor. I'm saying. I remember telling my dad, man, I worked 40 hours this week. He was like, that's it? Like, what do you mean? I thought that's what I had to do. Till I was working in the factory. We're hitting 60 hours in a week. And I'm talking to, they're like, I got to work a double today. Oh, you do? Yeah, but I got almost 30 this week. Oh, okay. We're working 12 hours every day on the regular. And we have to work Saturday this week. Like, what are you talking about, you sissy? Yeah, these young kids, they don't know. It's funny how we all are like turning into our parents. Anyways, moving forward here, this next one is giving California the finger. Sheriff vows to defy state's sanctuary law. We need more sheriffs like this. I'll tell you that. We need one in every state saying, nope, we're not going to deal with sanctuary cities. Kicking out the illegals. Hit that like button if you got one, and let's get into this.
Welcome back. California passed a sanctuary state law back in 2017 to protect illegal immigrants. Well, now one county sheriff in the state says he's going to defy that law and will contact ICE when he's aware that a person in local custody is in the country illegally and poses a serious public safety threat. Amador County Sheriff Gary Redmond is kind enough to join us live now to talk about this. Sheriffs, thanks for your time. You're essentially giving the state of California and Gavin Newsom the finger. Are you expecting any sort of retribution?
Absolutely, and I've already received a letter. I was expecting that, putting me on notice that I'm required to follow state law, and they are watching me. But the fact is, they're the ones giving California a finger over and over of championing and uplifting criminals here in California instead of the people that we need to, which are the victims of California. And I'm just not willing to do that.
So they send you a letter saying you got to follow state law. Sounds like you're not going to. So what do you envision is going to happen next? Are they going to send you another letter, or what's going to happen?
Well, until I actually do something, there's a lot of provisions of SB 54 that I am allowed to follow and actually will work out. And I think most sheriffs in California are doing exactly that. We're doing everything we can to make California safe. But it's a very isolated incident that if somebody's going to get released and I have to put them back into the community, that's where I'm just not going to do it. And at that point, excuse me, I think I'll probably end up getting some type of injunction from the Attorney General or court order basically demanding that I do follow the law.
So will you work with ICE just on violent crimes or pretty much any crime? Say an illegal immigrant in your county gets a DUI. Doesn't crash or hurt anybody, but has a DUI. Will you work with ICE on that, or is this only limited to serious violent felonies?
Only limited to serious violent felonies or what I believe is going to pose a public safety risk. I can tell you, I already had somebody in my jail recently who wasn't illegal, admitted that he was illegal on a DUI. He left our custody. We arrest a lot of people in Amador County for DUI, so that's not what I'm focused on. Immigration law is not what we do as local. That's up to the feds. But my job as sheriff is public safety, 100%.
And you're one of only 3 municipalities in the state of California pushing back against this. We have call for number 2 right here. This is a map showing some cities and counties that are defying California's SB 54 sanctuary state law. Huntington Beach, Oroville, and then your county, Amador County. Sheriff, I hear from a lot of local police departments in California who are very frustrated with the sanctuary state law. They can't work with ICE on the record, but I'm told by a lot of them, kind of wink, wink, they'll talk to ICE under the table and give them a heads up when some folks are being released. Do you hear that as well?
You know, a little bit. Our release dates are actually public record in our jail. What we're trying to work on is get that information out on our website, so it is available. If anybody calls, media, any personal person can call, and they're going to get a release date from us. So that's really not giving privileged information at that point. It is public record.
I want to get your thoughts. We had this recent horrible case out of Los Angeles last week. An illegal alien from El Salvador has been charged with sexually abusing and murdering one of his own players. He's a youth soccer coach out there. He's also been charged with sexually assaulting 2 other teenage boys. What does it say to you that this guy is in the U.S. illegally and felt comfortable enough in the state of California to not only live there, but work as a youth soccer coach, and is now being charged with sexually abusing young boys for the last several years?
It's absolutely disgusting. And this is exactly what, my whole point is, when is enough going to be enough in California? When are we going to stop doing this and championing these people? We need to look out for the victims. And if you're an illegal and you are a victim, I want you to come to us. There's no questions asked. We're going to help you. But it's the criminals that I'm focused on and we're going to go after, so I can keep the residents of my county safe. And every county should be doing this as far as I'm concerned.
And we know ICE appreciates what you're doing. We saw DHS Secretary Kristi Noem tweet at you the other day saying DHS has your back. Keep us posted. If you hear anything else from the state, we'll be in touch.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Hey, Sean.
All right. Now, he said that they had an illegal that they'd picked up for DUI and they let him go. I don't think they should have did that. I think they should have deported his ass. But either way, still a step in the right direction. Murderers and stuff like that. He's willing to call ICE even though he's not supposed to. And like Russell said here, federal law trumps state law, so he's following federal law. Yep, exactly. We need more sheriffs like that willing to call in on illegals and get them deported. It doesn't benefit us to have illegals here. It just causes more problems. It's kind of like keeping the doorway open for more problems. If one guy's here illegally, he can figure out ways to get other people he knows into the country illegally. We don't need those kind of problems. Deport them, and that way there's no chain reaction there. And so I think we need more sheriffs like this. Next up, we're going to play these videos back to back. First one's titled "The Left Can't Handle Any Positive Trump News." This is about Bill Maher. We were talking about this yesterday, but we got some video on it to show today. And then the second video is Lefties crying about Shaq shaking hands with Trump. We were also talking about that yesterday. I thought maybe there was a potential chance that Shaq would be immune from cancel culture or getting hate from the left because Shaq's a pretty cool guy, but I guess I was wrong. Lefties are all pissed because he was shaking hands with Trump. Both those videos we're going to play back to back. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this sheriff giving California the finger. Breeze by you, seriously, when is enough with these enough with these criminals? Taking those, oh, you're talking about something else? Yeah, well, and that's what I mean. I think that they should have said something about the guy with the DUI, but either way. Free the Texan, good on the sheriff, absolutely. Kirsten, I worked deportation flights a few years ago. I'll do it again if they ask me. Yep. We need it. We need people trying to get on board with making America great again. Dabs, you think they'll go after that sheriff? Maybe. It might be that way. Especially if he's defying New Scum. New Scum might just let bad things happen to him. Pumpkin, illegals driving under the influence kill a lot of Americans. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. He's like, well, he's not a big threat. Like, what do you mean? He was drunk driving. That's a pretty big threat, and he was here illegally. So he must be pretty comfortable, or really stupid, or probably both, to think that he could be here illegally, drive a vehicle, and then do it drunk. Like, I don't know. Trier, he totally doesn't look like a psycho. Yeah, the coach, the illegal that was a coach. Yeah. Janet, disgusting. It is. It's a plastic quack. Happy freedom to you. Meta. Is it Amador? I think it's Amador County. I don't know where it is. Go Huntington. Yeah. Cleaning it up. California needs it bad. Tory Wayne, good for people standing up on true human rights? Absolutely. Time travel. Law and order, simple and plain. Yep. Doing the right thing. What's up, Bob Roberts? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Proud Ankle? Happy freedom to you. I don't know, man. Been working 40 hours a week at the same place for 38 years. I'm getting tired of it. Yeah, Proud Ankle, but it's not really, we're not really delegating whether or not we like working 40 hours a week. It's just that we're willing to do it if it's worthwhile. While the young people are just complaining at the fact that they could have to do it at all, right? And most people start off at minimum wage, or if you're a waitress, you might not even be making regular minimum wage. You be getting waitress pay. And so, you know, most people have to work those long hours because you're getting low pay. And, you know, that's what builds your work ethic. And eventually you level up and get a job that pays more. And if you can afford it, you can work less. But the thing is you're willing to do what it takes to get what you want. These young people aren't like that. They just want to, flail around on the ground, throwing a temper tantrum and piss and moan until they get what they want. They think that's easier than working 40 hours a week. Like, they can't even imagine doing it. No, working 40 hours a week isn't great, but we know that we're willing to do it to get what we need or what we want. And these young people, they're just not built like that. What's up, Brandon? Happy freedom to you. Brandon, in other news, they passed the storm chaser ban bill, so hopefully there isn't any more tornadoes. You think it's going to work? We're not going to have tornadoes now? We'll see. We've been having back-to-back storms. The whole East Coast has been getting hit with tornadoes like every day for the last 2 weeks. Zero, glad you made it home safely. Breeze by you, Hollyweird used to love Trump. Yeah, now he's cracking down on him. Well, maybe. Sam, Maher actually sounded like he enjoyed having dinner with President Trump, and the lefties hate it. Yes, they do. Well, let's go ahead and get through some of this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to the grocery store or not. It closes in like 36 minutes. Ugh, and if I don't make it, I don't get to eat today. We'll see how this goes. Like I said, we're going to play these next two back-to-back because they're in the same tone. First one is the left can't handle any positive Trump news, talking about Bill Maher. And then the second video is lefties crying about Shaq shaking hands with Trump. Let's go ahead and get this pulled up really quick like. No, you hold on a second, lady. All right, hit that like button if you got one, and let's get into this.
Trump critic Bill Maher talked about how pleasant his meeting with President Trump was at the White House.
Everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump.
I knew they would hit it off, but later in the show, Washington Post columnist Josh Rogan suggested Maher got taken for a sucker.
I think you've fallen into the trap. I think I represent 99% of the internet when I say this, is that you've played the game of proximity is principle.
What is the alternative to not talking? Just sit at your lunch table and don't talk to anybody?
I talk to him. I've interviewed Trump. Here's the interview.
That's just not an interview. This was not an interview.
I agree with the principle of engagement. I'm just saying from his perspective, you have to understand that people out there know, all Americans know, that for him this was a PR stunt, and in his view, you were a prop in that PR stunt.
Okay, people butthurt. Bill Maher deciding that hanging out with Trump really wasn't that bad. I think he kind of liked it a lot. Let me see here. Like I said, we're going to get into this next video here. This is just nonsense. It's titled, Lefties Crying About Shaq Shaking Hands with President Trump.
They say Shaq dumb. Shaq not dumb. Damn, I don't know, Shaq. That was pretty dumb. Because let's just call a spade here. Donald Trump is a legitimate rapist. Here's the court document. Like, this is who you want to align yourself with? It's weird seeing Shaq play, Shaq-a-Claus and being so cool with all these kids and then going around hugging accused pedos. Proudly dapping up a convicted felon? How about what he said about the Central Park Five, Shaq? Like, they're in the middle of a defamation case and the judge refused to throw it out. So, for the master marketer, this was not a good move. Stop normalizing rapists and felons and pedos. They say Shaq dumb.
Okay, so this guy, he's got 3 man ponds in right now. He's gaped out, and he's all crying about President Trump. That's okay. I really don't think this is going to hurt Shaq in any kind of way. People love Shaq. And he's in so many different genres. He's a movie star. Like I was saying yesterday, he's now doing DJ for EDM music. Obviously, he's a famous basketball player. He's everywhere doing everything, and everyone seems to love Trump except for that guy and people that are, extra gay like that guy. And that's that. So it's the Trump effect. It's really hurting them in their no spot, and that'll be okay. Next up, Carmelo Anthony, the stabber, not the basketball player or whatever, the sports guy. $1 million bond has been reduced to $250,000 after he allegedly stabbed a 17-year-old Austin Metcalf in the heart for grabbing him. He's now out on bond, and it's coming up next. It's a short video. These last little bit of the news is still short. And then we'll be getting into our fun stuff. So either way, that's what's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Bill Maher as well as Shaq being compromised because they had okay time meeting and hanging out with President Trump. Here, Juicer, everything's making me hungry today. Shaq shaking hands. Shaq shake. Yeah, well, a Shake Shack. Now I want a shake, and I don't even like ice cream. I think we're all in the same boat here. It's about that time. Guess Carmelo Anthony's under house arrest. Yeah, he shouldn't even be out. He should be incarcerated. Russell, there's no problem with talking with someone from the opposite point of views. Yeah, as long as it's talking. That's the hard thing is lefties only talk for so long, and then they start getting violent, and then got whooped their little stupid ass. And then all of a sudden they're a victim, and they're on the ground crying and calling you a white supreme pizza and a Nazi. Zero, Bill and Shaq are showing people how they should be. Yeah, I think so too. Sam, none of the former liberal POTUS ever invited Maher to the White House, but Trump did, and Maher was always his big critic. Yeah, President Trump's not scared of a challenge, that's for sure. Astro Hammer, you could always opt for dinner from Wesco. I know I'm trying to get away from that. I eat Wesco almost every single day during the winter time, so I'm trying to actually go back to cooking food. I'm like, I wonder why I gained 30 pounds in the last 4 weeks. It's probably that catching up to me. Kevin, did you guys hear old man Walter yelling at us again? I kind of missed it. We played a little bit of it. Plastic Quack, if he was a felon or a rapist, he'd be in jail. Oh, wait, none of them are in jail. So it's all just fake news? Yeah, Plastic Quack, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to have that conversation. Like old man Walter having classified documents he wasn't supposed to have. Oh, no, we'll just let that go. He's too old to stand trial. He's too old to be held accountable for breaking the law. Like, no, they don't want to have that conversation. Janet, I'm going to get some 99-cent tacos. Sounds good. Every day is a good day for tacos. Lone Wolf just sucking up for a handout like Whitmer. Yeah, we covered Whitmer yesterday, trying to hide her face while looking like the Joker. Russell, Bill Maher is fairly center, but not quite. So is he like left-leaning center? Let's go ahead and get into this next one. This, like I said, these next couple of videos are pretty short. This next one's Carmelo Anthony's $1 million bond has been reduced to $250,000 after he allegedly, I don't know what to say allegedly, he stabbed a 17-year-old by the name of Austin Metcalf. I was probably not saying that right, but either way. Stabbed him in the heart for grabbing him. I don't understand how he even got bond. Like, I don't get that at all. But either way, let's go ahead and roll through this. Hit that like button if you got one, and let's get into this.
The sad part about it is he died in his brother's arms. They were twins, identical twins. And his brother was holding on to him, trying to make it stop bleeding. And he died in his brother's arms. And I rushed up there, and I saw him on the gurney. And I could tell. They said he wasn't breathing. I could see all the blood. I saw where the wound was. I'm not trying to judge, but what kind of parents did this child have? What was he taught? He brought a knife to a track meet, and he murdered my son by stabbing him in the heart. The guy was in the wrong place. They asked him to move, and he bowed up. This is murder.
I think so too. Sounds like murder to me. And I haven't heard otherwise. I haven't heard that this kid was bullied or anything like that. I keep hearing that he takes like gang photos. He's got guns and knives, and he's like flipping off the camera and doing all this stuff. This kid that stabbed the other one, he acts like he's some tough guy. I haven't heard anything about him being bullied or mistreated or anything. He went to a track meet with a knife. He was sitting somewhere he shouldn't have been. He was asked to move. He refused to move. He grabbed his bag and stuck his hand in his bag, basically threatening everyone, like, I wish you would do something. He said something along those lines to the other kid. The other kid grabbed him. I don't know exactly what that looked like, but he grabbed him, and this kid stabbed him in the chest and then ran away. Then he admitted to police officers that he did stab him, and then asked the officer if it could be considered self-defense. It doesn't sound like self-defense to me, especially if you use a weapon against another person who does not have a weapon. It's very hard to prove self-defense when you're in a boat like that. Now, this person right here is the judge that took his $1 million bond, reduced it to $250,000, and then allowed him to bond out. I don't know what her or its name is yet. It kind of looks like it's got a little 5 o'clock shadow. It could be anything at this point. But either way, I'm sure we will have more follow-ups on Carmelo Anthony. Next up, 11 violent illegal border crossers, including 7 Tren de Aragua members, have been deported to El Salvador. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Carmelo Anthony posting bond. Josh 1776, they took the money for a legal fund and then crowdfunded website and spent it on a new house and a $100,000 SUV. Total scum. The judge and the family of the killer, all of them need to be thrown into the ocean. Yeah. See, and that was the thing I was saying the other day, is that they kept saying that the kid who was stabbed had a GoFundMe and the kid who was the stabber had a GoFundMe, and the person who did the stabbing was making more donations, which is really crazy. Also, I kept calling him the stabber guy. Apparently there really is a person called the stabber guy. It's not him. It's some other individual, a grown-ass man from like the 70s. He was known as Stabber Guy. So that's not who I was talking about a couple days ago. I didn't realize that was like a coined nickname. But either way, this is Carmelo Anthony. He's a nice student there. He had a bright future. He's just a poor kid that was getting roughed up by White Supreme Pizza, and he had to stab the kid in the heart to defend himself. As you could see, he had a bright future ahead of him. He was obviously the victim in the situation. Either way, moving forward here, like I said, we're going to read through the chat and we'll get on to this next one. My feed, they scream white privilege. Really? It's disgusting. Yeah. Yep. Deflect. That's all they do is deflect. Deflect, reflect, and self-preservation. That's all the Democrats do. Elder Zoomer, I can't say what I want to say on the internet. That's the voice in my head every day. Kirsten, take the parents to civil court, sue them blind. Absolutely. Winston, Carmel is out on bond. His GoFundMe is buying a new house for his parents. Yeah, that's so crazy. Kirsten, damn right, it's murder. It's a no-brainer, for God's sake. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's just murder. So I cannot believe he's on bond. Pumpkin, I bet the kid gets a slap on the wrist. I'd sue his parents. He shouldn't get off with no punishment. Absolutely. Oh, Kevin, it takes too much data. If you lower the quality of the video, it should help with how much data Rumble consumes. Like if you go into you click the cog and then choose the lowest quality, it should help with data consumption. But I appreciate you being here. MC didn't do nothing. Yeah. You know that's how it went. DP, he should be charged as an adult. Absolutely. When I was 17, I got charged as an adult, and all I had was assault and battery. I had 2 counts of assault and battery. I was 17 years old. I was only 17 for like 13 days. And they're like, you're getting charged as an adult. They didn't even question it. This kid stabbed another kid in the heart and killed him. And they're like, nah, he'd be all right. He's just a kid. He's just a little boy. Jim, happy freedom to you. He should be deported to the bottom of the bottom of the bottom pit of hell. Yeah, he might one day. Guess he was previously suspended for carrying a knife at school. Holy. This whole thing is the next George Floyd. It could be, but I don't think he's going to get held accountable. Guess also the day he stabbed the kid, he was skipping school. See, like, where is the accountability at? 0 premeditated murder, stabber loser was looking for a fight. I don't know if they could get it on premeditated. I think for premeditated, they would have to prove that he was intentionally gonna stab that specific kid. There's probably other charges he could get, though. I think premeditated means that they would have to prove that he was going to do that instead of just carrying a knife, being aggressive. Josh 1776. Yeah, I haven't seen any video showing the stabbing or anything like that. I imagine it's only a matter of time, but who really knows? Either way, let's get on to this next one. Like I said, 11 violent illegal border crossers, including 7 Tren de Aragua members, have been deported to El Salvador. Now, that's a far away from 25 million illegals, but it's a good start. Let's get back to these mass deportations. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
The Trump administration deported 11 more violent illegal alien criminals to El Salvador over the weekend, just ahead of President Trump's meeting with Nayib Bukele, the president there, on Monday. At least 7 of these deported migrants were confirmed members of Tren de Aragua, that Venezuelan prison gang that has wreaked havoc across New York City and the country at large. There was also 1 additional gang member. This was an MS-13 member who was deported back home to El Salvador. Many of these illegal migrants had rap sheets. One had raped a young girl in the United States. Others had records for theft, terroristic threats, and assault. Now, President Trump wrapped a meeting with El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele on Monday, where the two discussed the relations with carrying out deportations. The Trump administration has been utilizing that mega prison known as SECAT in El Salvador, and Bukele reiterated his commitment to allowing Trump and his administration to utilize that space to continue to carry out that effort. Trump indicated that it would not stop here. And also last week, we spoke with Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem about the effort while on a ICE deportation raid in Phoenix. She told us that the Trump administration was prepared to send thousands more illegal migrants to that prison.
So like I said, sending these border crossers to El Salvador, where they belong, getting them out of the country. And that's the thing, even if they deport all 25 million illegals, we'll still have problems because there's Americans here committing crime too. So getting these 25 million illegals out is important. We don't need extra murderers and stuff here in the country. Of course, we got these damn judges standing in the way every chance they get. Supreme Court recently ruled that President Trump is able to kick these fuckers out of the country, so I'm glad that they're getting back to it. I'm kind of surprised that they only had 11 and that they wasted all those resources to send the 11 out. You would think they'd have to sit in a camp or something until they got a threshold, say like 50 people or something, and then kick them out. But either way, as long as they're not here anymore, it's good for us. Next up, we got the last little bit of the news. It's titled, Senator Wants to Go to El Salvador to Retrieve Unjustly Deported Man. Now, we know this is a bunch of nonsense. We've been covering it every day for weeks. He's not some poor father from Maryland. He's a MS-13 gang member, a terrorist, and he's been deported rightfully. Now, apparently they screwed up something with his paperwork, but it doesn't change who he is or the fact that he deserves to be in the Supermax. But the senator wants to go and tug on some heartstrings and continue this portrayal that he's some poor father from Maryland. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these 11 border crossers being sent to Supermax. Breeze by you, now let's get the idiots for treason. Absolutely. Russell, I love how all the guards wear masks. Yeah, to protect their identity because they're dealing with dangerous people. Josh 1776, we should give them money to build 2 more prisons. So President Trump was saying yesterday or the day before that he wants them to build more Supermaxes. Zero, Andy's from El Salvador. Yeah, the poor father from Maryland, he's from El Salvador. So he's already been deported to the country he belongs to, on top of being in Supermax. Pumpkin, hope they are sorry they ever entered the U.S. illegally. Well, I'm sure they are. Anytime they show those inmates in Supermax speaking, they don't have any hope. They're not all smart Alex and being sly like normally when you see inmates. These guys, they know they're never getting out. They know that they don't have a chance in hell of getting out of there. So they're calm. They speak very calm. They're broken. They are broken. For the Texan, look at them sissies looking miserable. Yep, they signed up for it. For the Texan, he sat under their canopy to start shit while having a knife. Yeah, I think he did too. Ghostly, I hope one of the guards has a grudge. It's hard to say. Meta, do the crime, do the time. That's right. See ya. Mm-hmm. DP, GoFundMe will do anything for $1. Yes, they will. Unless the Canadians are doing a convoy, then they'll confiscate all the damn money and freeze all the accounts connected to it. Breeze by you, mainstream media will spin all of this like they always do. Just lie, lie, lie. You're right. My feed, he can never come back. The mother has had 3 children with disabilities. Only 1 child is his. Yeah, they're trying to make it some sad story, but obviously that's not the reality of things. Like I said yesterday, we covered a video where the entire Trump cabinet took turns answering this question from some CNN reporter who kept wanting to reiterate the same question. Oh, what are we going to do about the guy who was mistakenly sent to El Salvador? And they all were like, no, there's no way he can come back. Even the president of El Salvador, who was sitting there at the time, was like, the only way he could come back is if I smuggled him into the country. And I'm not going to do that. I have the authority to release him from the Supermax, but I don't have the authority to illegally bring him back to America, and I'm not going to release him into my country. We don't want those problems. So he's staying right where he is. And here we are, senators always going to El Salvador to rescue the poor criminal who's been unjustly deported. Like, just nonsense. Let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to figure out who this guy is. Senator Chris Van Hollen. Idiot. Either way, hit that like button. You got one. And let's get into this.
I do intend to go to El Salvador to discuss the release of this individual who is illegally detained.
Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland told reporters he will be traveling to retrieve a Marylander who was wrongly detained. On March 12th, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was seized by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Days later, he was flown to El Salvador and confined at that country's mega prison, known as the Terrorism Confinement Center, or CCOT.
Los Estados Unidos desapareció a mi esposo Kilmar.
In a blink of an eye, our 3 children lost their father, and I lost the love of my life.
Officials with the Trump administration claim Abrego Garcia was a member of the MS-13 gang. But Abrego Garcia's attorneys and family dispute that claim, noting there's no evidence of any gang involvement by Abrego Garcia. Abrego Garcia had an order from an immigration judge that said sending him to El Salvador may expose him to persecution by gangs there. A field office director for ICE admitted that Abrego Garcia's deportation was a mistake caused by an administrative error. In late March, a district judge ordered the Trump administration to have Abrego Garcia return to the United States. Last week, the United States Supreme Court ruled the administration should facilitate Abrego Garcia's return. But the Trump administration says it refuses to bring Abrego Garcia to the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi told reporters,
"He was illegally in our country. He had been illegally in our country. If they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane."
Now, Senator Van Hollen is making the next move in what's become a complicated chess game over Abrego Garcia's fate. He told reporters,
I believe the president of El Salvador will recognize why it's important to allow him to return to the United States of America, because it is absolutely unjust and illegal to have this Marylander detained one more day in a notorious prison in El Salvador.
This is Inside Edition Digital.
Okay, so that's just complete lies. They are just straight lying. I can't believe there's 13 million people subscribe to Inside Edition just to be lied to. People love being lied to. I've come to that conclusion, that's for sure. I tell the truth, and people walk away all the time because they don't like the truth. But, man, they love being lied to. Craziness. That whole video was false. They took a little clip of what Pam Bondi said, and they were like, yeah, well, he can come back. No, she was speaking in context, and they took her out of context. They said that he was here illegally, and because he was deported, he can never come back. And so that's when they went to El Salvador president. He was like, well, yeah, I could release him, but I can't even bring him back. The courts have said that he should have been deported like he was, and because he was deported, he can never come back to American soil. So regardless of any other shit going on in the world or how much his panties are up in a bunch, he can never come back to American soil. It has already been decided. So this whole insider blah, 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 they took that shit out of context and they ran with it like a marathon. Not a track meet. Somebody might have got stabbed. But that whole story was a lie. They are just blatantly lying to people. We covered that entire little deal there, where the whole cabinet took turns, including Rubio, who explained it very clearly that he was here illegally, he was deported, he can never come back. He is a known MS-13 gang member, and he is where he should be. And they all took turns describing the same thing in different ways for any kind of person that was too dumb to get it the first time. And here we are with Senator Dumbass wanting to go to El Salvador to go visit the inmates to try and spin, and pull on the heartstrings of dummies that don't know what's going on. Now, unfortunately, a lot of those people are normies who don't watch the news every day. So when they're showing these little clips, they just believe it. We don't have to, because we've watched each of those clips in their entirety. We know what it was said, and having context matters. And that's what these people do when they lie to the normies, is they take everything out of context. Like when President Trump speaks, they take two little words that he said, and then they go, yeah, he hates people from Mexico, or he hates black people, or blah, 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 blah. The stupid shit that they say, because they take things out of context and they spin it. And that whole story there was full bullshit. Either way, that is the last little bit of the news. We're going to go ahead and get into the fun stuff. I'm not going to be able to go to the grocery store, so we might as well just do the thing. Either way, we're going to be doing an unboxing here in just a moment, and then we will be opening today's door from the advent calendar that I believe Hair Juicer sent me. I think that's where we're going to start. And then we got two funny videos of the day. First one's titled Dems Love This, and our official funny video of the day is titled It's Usually a Boring Job. All of that's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about that propaganda piece we just covered. Breeze by you, mainstream media loves to spin and lie. We should just call them the spin lie instead of mainstream media. Absolutely. The spinning news. Hair Juicer, I don't want it to happen, but I will piss myself laughing if something bad happens to him in El Salvador when he tries to rescue Garcia. Yeah, it's so stupid. What if something happens? What if they fake something? What if Senator Dumbass goes over there, tries to go to El Salvador, they fake like, I don't know, a gang riot or some crazy shit, and he gets victimized in the situation, and then he turns around and goes, look how dangerous El Salvador is. We don't need our own from Maryland being here. And then spins the whole thing like this poor father from Maryland that's in Salvador. He's fighting for his life every day. And it's President Trump's fault that he's still there. Oh my God, I sound like Obama. I have what it takes to be president, I swear. Stupid. God only knows what's going to happen. Tiger Jaw, happy freedom to you. The senator is more worried about an illegal than his U.S. citizen constituents that are being affected by illegals. Absolutely, Tiger Jaw. This guy is an idiot. MC Caitlin Collins is the new CNN punching bag. Yeah. Yep, she's got that strong jaw. Even Klaus couldn't handle it. He had to get up and walk away. That was enough. That was enough. Winston, Caitlin Collins in the very, very unfair bad day part 2. Yeah, basically. Told to care, set an example. You might think twice. That's right. That's why we need accountability. You don't have to crack down on everybody. You crack down on the first couple of hard enough, and everybody else will fall in line. That's just how it goes. We don't have any accountability, and everybody found out. That's why everybody's losing their mind and acting like criminals. Kilgore, not a citizen? Fuck that dude. Yep. MC, Democrats are flipping idiots. They are. Done illegal is illegal. That's right. CB, I'm sad for the future of the prisoners, but they are where they belong. What caused them to become such animals? The lack of accountability. When you're young and you make dumb choices, and those dumb choices come back to bite you in the ass, and they don't kill you, and you live through it, you've gotten your lessons. It's up to you to make better choices from here on out. But when you don't have accountability, you go 20 years acting like a dumbass, the day you get arrested, you're shocked. You can't even believe it. You've made it 20 years making the same decisions and nothing bad ever happened, and one day something really bad happened. And you're like, that wasn't my fault. I've been doing this for 20 years and never had nothing bad happen. That must be somebody else's fault. And that's why. And we need accountability, and we need it bad. And I don't know how these people are getting off the hook for 20 years acting like dumbasses and nothing bad ever happens. And the one day something bad happens, oh, everybody wants to get all upset. Oh, what do you mean you sent him to El Salvador? He's just a poor MS-13 gang member. Yeah, bring him back. Just bring him back. Meta, El Salvador is not going to let him out. No, I don't even know why the senator said that. Bukele, the president of El Salvador, already said he's not letting him out. He said in the clip that they showed that he is not letting that guy out. No matter what, he is not getting out. He is a terrorist, and that's what he said. He was like, he's a terrorist, and we don't want terrorists running around in my country. So I don't know what Senator Dumbass is talking about. What's up, Jay Blazer? Happy freedom to you. Who would the senator be going to meet? He doesn't have automatic access to another country's president. It makes no sense. I don't think he's going to meet the president. I think he's going to try and set up a visitation at the Supermax, and then he's going to walk through with a camera guy crying really hard and clutching onto his man-pon, and that's what I think he's going to do. It's a big sympathy ploy. That's what it is. I don't think he has access to Boo Kelly. Boo Kelly. That's what the ladies call him. That's Boo Boo Kelly there. Mm-hmm. Lone Wolf, he did an interview last week with an ex-government employee. Senator, the live man is afraid for his life now that he went to his daughter's house and got to her, telling all now. Interesting, Lone Wolf. I haven't seen anything about that. I thought you just did an advent calendar. We did, Lone Wolf. We had the advent calendar that Wad sent us with the whiskeys in it. But Hair Juicer sent an advent calendar, and so did Zero. I'm trying to think. We'll see when we unbox it. We'll figure out which order we're going to do everything. But we get to keep the advent calendar times rolling thanks to those hooligans. Klaus Daniels. There you go. I got to share the damn seat with you. Okay. All right. Goofy cat. What do you mean we're not related? I birthed him myself. I say when your baby has hair, you get a lot of heartburn. Look at this baby here. Mm-hmm. Ghostly Boo Boo Kelly is R. Kelly's cellmate. Is that what it is? So they call R. Kelly in the penitentiary. That's Boo Boo Kelly there. Mm-hmm. Tiger Jaw, he's not allowed to negotiate on behalf of the executive branch. I hope they do not allow him into their country. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It'll be funny if we have a follow-up on this. Klaus, you just beat me with your tail. He's over here whacking me in the shoulder. It's my bad shoulder. All right, like I said, we're going to get into the fun stuff. We got an unboxing coming up, and we will be opening today's door of one of the advent calendars. And then we got our 2 funny videos of the day. Like I said, Dems love this. And our official funny video of the day is titled, It's Usually a Boring Job. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick. What the hell are you doing back here? Keep jerking like you got throw up. Don't do that in my chair. You go do that somewhere else. I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the description in order to send donations. You can do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. All right, let's figure out where the boxes are. You're going to have to go, bud. Yeah, I don't have enough room for both of us. Come on, Piglet Cat. Jesus loves us. Just get to the tower. Get to the chopper. Come, let's get this half. There you go. That's good butt. That's good butt. Okay, Jesus loves us. Okay, this first one, I don't know who it's from. So you guys got to help me figure it out. You got to help me finger it out. Let me see what all I'm sharing here on the live. First, we got a little something here for Cat Daniels. Interactive cat toy ball. He must know. Look at him. Like, he knows. Yes, this is for you. Yes, you good boy. And then I got this, and I don't know what it is quite yet. Let me see. We're going to open it really quick, maybe. But we got to figure out who sent this, because there's no note, and it had my name on the shipping stuff, and I didn't send it to myself. So, somebody sent this. Oh, let's see what we got here. This says, winner. Now let's see what's inside. Okay, we're going to try and do this on camera in case something bad happens. It's going to be anthrax. Oh, it's not. Okay. It's not ticking. What is it? Oh. Oh, it is ticking. Oh, wow. You guys can't see it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Wow. Look at this. Stop shaking. Do you see the little thing spinning in there? It's a mechanical watch. I've wanted one of these for a couple years now, and I finally got one. And it's a winner. And it's got that alligator skin. This is so nice. Who sent me this? I love this so much. My goodness. You see this? This is crazy, right? He's such a good boy. Crazy. Holy. So we're going to have to read through the chat really quick and see if we can figure out who sent this to me, because this is fantastic. Ooh, see if we can figure out real quick. And we got 2 more we're going to unbox. Let's set this right here. Let's see if we can figure this out. Hair Juicer, was you? Was it really? Thank you so much, Hair Juicer. You're a badass. I really appreciate it. Wow. Wow, thank you, Hair Juicer. All right, this next one is by Zero. And I'm pretty excited about this too. This is an advent calendar of sorts, and I'm super excited about this. Now you guys are gonna think this is real dorky, but I like it nice and dorky. Klaus, you got a new box? Ugh, let's show you the front. Bam! Look at this. It's a Pokemon holiday advent calendar. It says there is foil Pokemon cards with a festive stamp, booster packs, fun packs, coins, sticker sheets. I don't know what that is. A sidekick dangler featuring somebody. I don't know. Lots of fun stuff. I love Pokemon stuff. Look at this. Holiday calendar. Thank you so much, Zero. I cannot wait to crack this open. Let's set this right here. And then this is by Hair Juicer. Come on, let me pick this up. I wish Trump was here. He has no problems grabbing a box. Instead of being a live streamer, I should have been a comedian. We got Tommy. So now I can see all the goodness that you guys were telling me about. Very nice. Pretty excited to see that. And then we got this advent calendar that Hair Juicer sent right here. This is a survival kit, or it's got survival kits in it. There, Klaus. I'll take care of this box too. Yeah, there you go. And I think we're going to be cracking this one open today and seeing what's inside. So let's see what we get today for the advent calendar. Might have to do this off screen here. I can't show sharp things. Okay. There we go. Did you like this? Yes? You good boy. Okay, well you sit there and watch it. Okay, how do I do this? Okay. Why is this hollow? There we go. It's got a little flippy top on it. Let me see. Here we go. Look at this. Very different from the other advent calendars we've been opening. The numbers are all over the place though, and I actually like that. So we're going to be starting with day 1. How do I open this? What do you think it's going to be? Let's put this over here. Let's see what we got. What is it? Now everything in here is supposed to be survival related. How do I open this? Something for me, something for you, Klaus. I don't know what this is. I wonder if this is the pack to put everything in that we're gonna get. I'm thinking so. Now this must be the brand name. I don't know how you say that out loud without your furniture floating around the house, but either way, I'm thinking so. This is the pack to put the survival stuff in. It's a good start. Thank you so much, Hair Juicer. Thank you so much, Zero. You hooligans are the best. I really appreciate you. All right, we're going to get into our funny videos of the day. Ooh, watch out, Klaus Daniels. I want to run your feet over. Hold on. We're going to open Klaus's toy really quick so he's got something to play with. Just to be fair. Got to be fair. I like how they twisted it up like it was a dime bag. That, never mind. Just don't you worry about that. What is all of this? Okay. You see this, Klaus Daniels? Oh, you see this? There's a lot going on here. How do I turn this on? How do I do it? Oop. Is it? Look at this. He's gonna love this goofy thing. Here, go play. Go play with this. There, he's off. He's off doing the thing. Fantastic. Thank you, Hooligans, so much. All right, let's get into the fun videos here. Josh 1776, door 2's an ounce of Coke. No, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Holy. All right, let's pull up the videos here. Oh, yeah, I remember now. He's already over there attacking it. This is titled Dems Love This.
Chandler, congratulations on a stellar performance in that 3-mile swim. How does it feel to come in second?
Wait, second? I thought I won.
No, you got second.
No, I didn't see anyone in front of me. It was literally open water.
Yeah, well, first place just edged you out by 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
She's already dried off.
That has literally never happened in women's swimming history. Well, I guess I'm just
Hey, George, I'll tell you, man, it feels great to come away with a victory today. I can't tell you how good it feels to show women what's possible by coming out here and stepping all over these other ladies today to take the win.
Taking home the victory in the national championships is a very impressive accomplishment. How did you train for this race?
I've literally never trained for swimming a day in my life. I came right off the couch. I guess you could say I've got like a genetic predisposition to be good at swimming or something like that.
Yeah, the Dems love that. I don't know that guy's name, but his videos are hilarious. We're going to get into our official... Can you hear Klaus Daniels? He's riding. He loves that toy. Hopefully it survives the day.
Let's see.
All right. Now this, like I said, was sent by Handicapable. This is a little bit of a longer video here, but it's a good one. This is titled, It's Usually a Boring Job.
Let's see. Spoon, lighter, baggie. Oh, I bet this is from Bring Your Kid to Work Day. My name's Nick Peterson, and I'm the White House's Director of Transfer of Power. It's a fancy title for someone who cleans out the president's desk. It's usually a boring job, tossing notepads, old calendars, things a normal commander-in-chief would use at his desk. Joe Biden's desk, however, was like cleaning out the prop closet for the Naked Gun. Running a country for dummies. Mint condition. More of that at the beach and less James Patterson, and I wouldn't be cleaning out your desk. The worst part? I guess the worst part was scrubbing dried ice cream out of the carpet underneath. I'm not complaining though. I had to clean up after Bill Clinton's term, so. There's a painting underneath here, signed by Hunter and purchased by his dad at an inflated rate, no doubt. Quite the artist, the con type, but an artist nonetheless. Between you and me, I thought I was gonna be doing this a lot sooner. I figured Kamala was gonna pull the old security cameras are down trick and serve him up a scoop of death by chocolate. Oh, look. America's checkbook is empty. Fun fact, the president's chair is usually cleaned up and then moved to a museum or showroom of sorts. Biden's chair was deemed a health hazard, simply for the fact that it had seen more blowouts than an episode of Jersey Shore. Looks like he recently carved "For a Good Time, Call Harris." Must have been right after he got Tanya Hardinged. When Joe Biden started in politics, Elvis Presley was still alive. We had just landed on the moon a few years prior. If he had gotten a second term, they were going to rename this place the Oval Hospice. I think that's everything, just a letter opener. Industry secret. When discarding dangerous objects, it's best to dispose of them properly and not just leave them for the Taliban.
The Oval Hospice. That was a good one. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. I'm going to grab this Linktree link really quick. We're going to read through, and then we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Klaus Daniels is going ham with his new toy. I bet the downstairs neighbors think that we're moving furniture. Alright, hooligans, there's the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there with the conversation going 24/7. And we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there in the chat while watching the live. You also have access to Hooligans Alley, the forums, the arcade, and our advanced messaging system with built-in group chats. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. Klaus Daniels, he's going ham over here. Either way, like I said, we're going to read through the chat really quick. We got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Guess as big as Klaus is now, neighbors probably think Whoopi came by. I'm saying he's a buffalo running through the house right now. That's the Piglet cat. Thank you, Breeze by You. I hope you have a good night as well. Russell, the Oval Hospice. I know. So good. JP Sears. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go follow him. Zero, you saw that video earlier today? Yeah, it's a good one. Guess stand tall to all my friends who appear, but I'm dropping off now because my fajitas are here. It's good stuff, Guess Some. Wise words from Guess Some. Yeah, here, Juicer, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm going to be wearing the watch tomorrow. I'm going to be styling. Zero, Klaus likes his new toy. He does. He's going ham over here. Klaus is happy and he says thank you. He says thank you so much. Oh, I appreciate you, Kirsten. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Pumpkin. You're the bestest. Hito, can you point your camera at the cat? No. This is the only camera-friendly area. I can't show all this stuff. There's family photos and stuff like that. I'll try and record a video of him playing with it, and then I can show you guys tomorrow on the live. CB or Lizzo. Yeah, Lizzo's up here with the cupcake rustling around on the floor. Thank you, Too Old to Care. Appreciate you being here with us. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Winston. Done. Someone should have told Hunter's girlfriend how to dispose of dangerous objects. I can't believe Hunter can get a girlfriend. I don't know. It's crazy. What's up, Cricket Kiss? Happy Freedom. Yeah, today I think we've been live 3 times. It's good stuff. Had a good day. Kevin, where'd you get it? I want one for Pepper. on Amazon unless Hair Juicer added it to the order. I'm not exactly sure how the wish list works. Let me see if I can find it really quick, if it is on the wish list. Let me see. Chirping. He might have just selected it because I'm not even seeing it on the list. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's from Amazon. I'm not seeing it on the list, so I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure it's from Amazon. Where's the box? It's called a interactive cat toy ball. So you should be able to find it. I was going to drop the link, but I don't even see it on the list. Either way. Thank you so much, Energy Woman, for that $11 donation over on Rumble. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for the support. Says, good job, Jeff. Thanks all, and happy freedom. Happy freedom to you, Energy Woman. Thank you. Thank you, Janet. I really appreciate you. What's up, Brian? Happy freedom. You're on the phone with your mom. Oh, it's her birthday? Well, happy birthday to Brian's mom. Hope you have a fantastic day. You let her know, Brian. We want to celebrate her birthday with her. Kevin, you want me to send Klaus some pictures of Pepper with her collar off? Klaus is only 3 years old. He's a young lad still. I don't know if he's capable of looking at spicy photos like that, Kevin, but I appreciate the offer. Thank you, Elisa. I appreciate you being here. Have a good night as well. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Hair Juicer just sent me the screenshot. All right, here's the link for the cat toy. Thanks for sending it to me, Hair Juicer. There, that link will take you to the cat toy. Meta, how much does Klaus weigh? He's a 20-pounder flounder. It's like throwing a barbell across the house. Are you having a hard time finding your toy? It's over here, you goofball. He's like making whiny noises because he can't get to where the ball is because all the boxes are in the way. What's up, Starn? Happy freedom to you. Rhonda, did kids say the Pledge of Allegiance in school anymore? I did as a kid. They do here. I live next to a school, and they do the Pledge of Allegiance on the intercom. And so, well, we're supposed to start the live at 3, but we're late all the damn time. If we started it on time, we would be able to hear them doing the Pledge of Allegiance next door. You want the cat toy, Rhonda? There's the link right there. It'll take you right to the cat toy. Wayward, we got our dogs the E-ball on Amazon. Did they like it? Zero naked cat pics? Mm-hmm. Klaus Daniels don't even have a collar on. He just walks around naked. He loves this thing. Kevin, today I found out that Pepper is older than what I thought she was. She's at least 13, not 10. Well, Kevin, you gotta love her that much more. Meow meow. Okay. Alright, hooligans. It is that time once again. I'm gonna try not to get distracted by Cat Daniels rioting here. You wanna take a break for a second, do the pledge? He's like, no. Alright, hooligans. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yes, we did the thing. All right, we're going to read through one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind, but we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. We'll do my best to try and capture President Trump live. I'll also keep an eye out for Caroline Leavitt. We had a press briefing today, so I doubt she'll do one tomorrow, but you never know. Either way, I really appreciate all of you guys being here. Like I said, we're going to read through them. We're wrapping this up. Elder Zoomer, I actually got that soundbite, but I always forget that I got it. Let me see if we can do it really quick. We just haven't had a good reason to use it yet. But yeah, I got it in stock. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Dutton. Thank you, Breeze by You. Appreciate you, Meta. I will. Don't you worry. I'll figure out some food somehow. Thank you, Tony Rich. You're welcome, Rhonda. Where it's just like this one, but it doesn't have the string. I bet the dogs love it. Look at this thing. He loves it. Goodness. Awesome. Elder Zoomer, I didn't know it was a soundbite. Yeah. I change them out every once in a while when I got time. Meta, you can hear Klaus chattering. I'm telling you, he is all amped up over this toy. I'm going to have to lock it in my toolbox when it's time for bed. Otherwise, he'll just be rioting all night. All right, hooligans, it looks like we are good to go. Like I said, we are going to be wrapping this up, but we'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and covering the news. Whoa, what the hell was that? Is it going to storm? Something loud just happened. I don't know if the roof just fell off the front of the building or what, but that was crazy. Did Lizzo trip and fall? What was I saying? Be safe out there, hooligans. The sky is falling. I'm not quite sure what that was. But if the sky ain't falling around you, those lefties, they're still out there. Those people are crazy. So definitely be safe. Go get yourself some good food. I'm going to try and do the same. And have a fantastic night. Make your way back here tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans. And I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support. And I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.